Hometown Sports Game of the Week. This program is funded in part by a grant from the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission.
Well, the stage is set, and a wildly excited crowd is eagerly anticipating what is considered, even in Week 3, to be one of the classic games of the entire season. It's the rematch tonight from Hughes Stadium as the Folsom Bulldogs come into the big house to take on the Sacramento High School Dragons on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Good evening and welcome to Hughes Stadium, where tonight, a real treat for our viewers and for those in attendance tonight. This game has been anticipated for 1 year, ever since host Sacramento went up the hill to take on Folsom High, #1 rated, and it was the upset of the year. Tonight is the rematch. I'm Will James, along with the Imperator of Analysis, Hall of Famer Jim Domino. And Coach, we've been talking about this one for 12 months.
We certainly have, and we're going from the big fall in Folsom a year ago to the Revenge Bowl here at Hughes Stadium tonight. We got beautiful weather, little to no wind, crowd still coming in. Both teams are loaded. #1 Folsom versus #6 Sacramento. We anticipate a lot of action here tonight.
Well, we've got quite a contrast in the head coaching department. Veteran Chris Richardson guiding the Bulldogs as usual. First-year coach Joe McCray taking the helm here at Sacramento prior to tonight's big matchup. Let's take a look at that last meeting we've been referring to earlier here in the pregame. And it has considerable substance packed into it, the type that creates a tremendous rivalry on the field. Jim, that last one a year ago was quite a doozy.
Well, September 16th, a year ago, up at Folsom, the biggest upset probably of the year, Sacramento 32, Folsom 27. Tremendous ball game. Sacramento scored 32 unanswered points in the second and third quarters to take a big lead. And then Folsom came roaring back with 13th in the fourth quarter, but not enough, succumbing to their 52-game winning streak versus section opponents went down the drain. And, of course, they're looking for revenge to come back here at Hughes this year, and they've had to wait a year for that.
They have indeed, and the number you mentioned, the 52, is the essence of this rematch. That's a 4-year streak, even a bit more than 4 years before falling to Sacramento last year. Now, both teams come into tonight's game with momentum. Let's take a look at the last outings. Both teams rolled a week ago.
Well, they certainly did. Folsom went into Oakdale, where it's tough to win, against a strong Oakdale team. And they battled for 3 quarters, and then Folsom came on with a 21-point fourth quarter led by quarterback Caden Bennett. Caden Bennett, a genuine triple threat, came through with a sterling performance. Folsom going away 45-29 over Oakdale.
Well, as you know, impact players always cast the giant shadow in a matchup of this magnitude. Tonight, no exception. And for Chris Richardson's Bulldogs, it's the big-time Bulldogs that have to pave the way on the road tonight.
Well, let's start with quarterback Caden Bennett. He's accounted for 68% of the total Folsom offense, running and throwing for over 1,000 yards. Joe Nagata, the big 6'3" wideout receiver, being heavily recruited, having a matter year. And defensively, Cruz Lara having a tremendous season with a sack, 17 tackles. And not to be undone, number 52, Tyler Hardiman, outstanding front man with 20 tackles, leading the team in that area.
Well, on the flip side now, the host Dragons under defensive guru and first-year head coach Joe McCray. They're going to counter with the Deluxe Dragons straight up.
Well, let's start with quarterback Derek Shelton. Now, he's got to have a great night tonight for them to stay in this ball game. And he's got 6 touchdown passes, but the stat he doesn't want is those 3 picks. So we want to throw that out the window and get with it. Anthony Bradley, their big wide receiver, outstanding athlete. And James Kuzi, leading that defensive front at linebacker, having a tremendous year with 17 tackles and a sack. And, of course, not to be undone, perhaps one of the best linebackers in the city, number 32, E.J. Hag Larry. Outstanding, 20 tackles, 1 sack. And one thing that Coach Richardson mentioned in the interview was he was very concerned with Hag Larry and his big hit ability.
Well, that's quite a group right there, and man for man, right down that Dragons roster. Speedy, hard-hitting type ball club, and we should have some big plays tonight, some thrilling plays. Well, that's the way it's shaping up. Now, don't go away, because when we return after this short break, we'll check in with our colleague Rick Stewart, and he brings a lot more to the table on tonight's big matchup, the rematch. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
We are delighted to have you with us this evening here at Hughes Stadium and Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. Upcoming shortly, the long-awaited rematch, Sac High taking on the invading top-ranked Folsom Bulldogs. Let's bounce our attention down to field level, and our Rick Stewart has much more on tonight's big matchup. Rick?
Hey, it's going to be an interesting game tonight. There's a lot of subplots to this game, but really what it comes down to is who's going to execute on the field tonight. It's a perfect night here at Sac City. You know, the field is tremendous. The weather's perfect for it. It's all a matter of execution. Let's take a look at these two coaches first. First for Folsom, Coach Chris Richardson. It's his 13th year at the helm of the Bulldogs. He's got a record of 132, 25, and 1. 7 league crowns, 5 section titles, and 2 state championships. Those are 2010 and 2014. Impressive resume for Chris Richardson right there for Folsom. Now for Sac High, first-year coach Joe McCray. everybody's going to look at the 2-0 in a record and say, but there's nothing else there. But there is. He's a longtime fixture here at Sac High, been through the program, all levels, head coaches at all levels, freshman, JV, assistant coach last year, defensive coordinator, and now he's the head coach. He's got the players' ears, and he's got the right attitude with their attitude that he's really happy with. He's in a really good situation this year. Rookie coach, but still not really a rookie. He's a person on campus, so this is not somebody that just came in this year to coach. The kids know him, and that's a big, big factor. Now let's talk about the series history between these two. There's only the 5th meeting tonight since 2008. Now, it's the first game of the series that hasn't been played at Folsom High School. Folsom won the first 3 games by an average of 39 points. Sacramento's upset last year, big upset of Folsom. Now, the win is probably Sacramento High's biggest win ever in football on the gridiron. So it's a huge win, and they're looking to stand up and say, yeah, it wasn't any fluke last year. Should be a great game. We're going to send it back upstairs to Will and Jim. Guys, take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Rick. Yes, big game indeed. And the magnitude of that upset, we can't stress that enough. A 52-game streak busted, covering a span of better than 4 years. So that's the chief factor in why this game has built up such an attraction and why this big crowd is out here tonight. Well, Imperator, lots have been said. The practice weeks have gone well for both squads. They have to do it on the field tonight. And a lot of answers to the questions that have been posed will be revealed tonight in the course of play.
Well, certainly, we're going to see Derek Shelton perform in another big game. And now that he's a senior, all that should be past him. He should, with the receivers he has, and he gets protection tonight, he should really come of age.
Well, we know that keys are always important, and the Imperator has specified a few of the fine points in tonight's contest for you folks to keep in mind along the way. So let's take a look at the Imperator's keys and key matchups along the way.
Well, number one, let's look at the revenge factor. We've talked about it earlier this evening. They've waited a year to come back after last year's big upset, and certainly Coach Richardson and the whole city of Folsom will be ready for this. They want to see the return match. Turnover battle is always huge, and certainly that always plays a factor in these ball games. So those fumbles, picks, etc. that do occur, you don't want to happen. Pass rush versus Bennett. In order to contain Bennett, you're going to have outside rush, inside rush, because this kid is a triple threat. He can run that read option. He can run and throw. He can throw from the pocket. Very impressive. We've watched and scouted him. Folsom passing attack versus mismatches. Well, that Folsom attack with Clayton, Nagata, Badger, Hutton, tremendous receiving core, great system, etc. And it's going to be a real test on that secondary with Drayton, Duncan, Felton, and Bradley. Outstanding athletes in their own right. And the big key to me is going to be is if Cowsey, Henderson, Taylor, and Smith can put pressure up front and force Bennett to get out of sync and out of tempo.
Well, you have certainly isolated one of the very key factors. And, of course, the Dragons are going to rely heavily on that pass rush that has been so prominent in the first couple of weeks of the season. We're going to take a short break and come right back. And when we do, we'll specify exactly how meaningful that Dragon pass rush is tonight. Stay with us.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Maybe you can make retirement happen.
After all,
Oh, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to the big show. We're getting closer to tonight's opening kickoff, a rematch that has been eagerly anticipated. Sac High entertaining number 1 Folsom tonight. We'll see who prevails following that major upset a year ago. Coach Domino had alluded to one of the major keys for Sac tonight to try to duplicate a win over top-ranked Folsom is the pass pressure on junior QB sensation Bennett. And let's take a look at the Sac Masters, because I don't know of another team in the area as prominent as this group as far as putting pressure on the quarterback, Jim.
Well, you got a group here that has 18.5 sacks, and gosh, they're divided between Smith being the leader at 4.5, but when you look at that front with Smith leading the way, Simon Taylor, Jalen Henderson, and Jaime Kazi, just tremendous athletes up front.
Makes
9
it tough
different Dragons. Yeah,
makes
sacks.
it tough to double team.
Yeah, who do you double team? So I think that that's going to be a real challenge up front to the front 5, particularly Dunbar, Lundy, Richardson, Cruz, and Frost. Will, what do you think?
We'll keep an eye on that. The Dragons have taken no prisoners when they apply pressure to the quarterback this season. Those totals are in just 2 games, which is outrageous. They're getting tremendous jump off the line, very speedy, and they haven't had to blitz all that much to register that many sacks. A lot of pressure coming from that down 4. Now, we know that both of these ball clubs are top 10 outfits. Folsom 1, Sac 6. And let's go ahead now and see what the Imperator has drawn up in his weekly rankings, Domino's Dozen.
Okay, let's start out with number 1 Folsom. And year in, year out for the last 7 years, they've been number 1 so many weeks straight. It's impossible to count. And Coach Richardson and his staff have done another great job. And even with Troy Taylor leaving 2 years ago for the college ranks, certainly that Bobby Fresquez has more than picked up that offense and does a super job with it, coordinating it. Oak Ridge second, having a big test tonight with Reed High School of Reno. Intercom third, always that great speed with Terry Stark. Rockland having a tremendous year, great D. Granite Bay here, Sacramento 6. Del Oro, traditional Del Oro 7. Franklin at 8. Sheldon at 9. Antelope still unbeaten 3-0. Grant with a big win over Capital Christian, number 11. And number 12, joining the first dozen for the first time this year, Del Campo 2-0. And visiting Vanden is out there at Del Campo. Coming up in the red zone, Whitney coming off a tough loss to Rockland, a good football team. River Valley having a good start with 2-1. Monterey Trail, TJ Ewing's club again with that veer offense, great defense. Elk Grove with a big win last week. Pleasant Grove, surprisingly, with 2 victories in a row. And they could be a sleeping giant. Jesuit with a big win in the Holy Bubble at 18-19. Capital Christian is at 19, but look for them to climb after their loss to Grant. And Yuba City bringing up the rear, having a good year.
Honk, honk. The Honkers making a statement there. But back to your number 12, that Del Campo outfit. As I understand it, they've got a red-hot quarterback that knows how to throw TD passes.
Well, that's what I hear. Young Tyler Domino, our youngest grandson, is, coming of age with 9 touchdown passes this year, and hopefully he'll stay healthy and have a great year.
We'll catch up with him down the road as you see the co-captains meeting at center field there at the 50-yard line. Now, you mentioned how perennial Folsom's been. hanging on to that number 1 spot all these years, and they have done it with a battalion of super-duper quarterbacks like no other team that we've ever seen, and the Bulldogs Bombers have been absolutely stellar over the years.
Okay, Joe Curry, we're going to work down from Joe Curry. I think he surprised a ton of people with 45 TDs last year. And then I'll turn it back over to you. What do you think of Jake Jeffrey, Will?
For a 1-year fill-in from a wide receiver getting plugged in to dominate competition and put up some fearful numbers, he basically had a showcase season the entire time.
Well, he took the baton from the great Jake Browning, becoming a national star at the University of Washington under Coach Peterson, and some say he's up for a possible Heisman.
Well, Browning has left his mark on all levels. Tyler Trocine followed the Graves brothers, and they filled the air full of footballs, and they were touchdowns. And the starter, the originator of that, Kerry Grossert, was Coach Richardson's first super-duper quarterback. We'll be right back, and when we return, let's look for that opening kickoff. Stay with us.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Okay, it's game time, and the opening kickoff in this rematch is just mere moments away. Sacramento High School, rated number 6, taking the field first, dressed in their dark, trimmed-in purple uniforms as the home team tonight. And now the visiting Folsom Bulldogs take the field, blue trousers, white jerseys, and they are the visitors this evening. And this is one these fans have been waiting for, and they're still pouring into the stadium. You see there, temperature at 56, light wind, humidity's up, but the visibility is clear as a bell. The Dragons are going to kick off from our left to our right, and it's Esau Perez doing the booting, and the deep receivers dispatched. They've got a nice quartet, Ward, Hutton, Nagata, and Rupchuk. The NCOA has given us a first-class unit here to keep things fair and square. We'll introduce them momentarily, and there's the bounding kickoff. Taken at about the 14-yard line. They work right. Nagata, and not much. Excellent containment. Let us go ahead now and introduce the Folsom Bulldogs starting offensive lineup, and they are potent. Over the course of 3 games, they've been averaging 52 a game. Bennett, the highly heralded junior QB, Rupchuk, the running back, and the 4 wideouts, Ngata, Clayton, Hutton, and Badger. Down line, Frost, Lunday, Richardson at center, Cruz, and Dunbar. And here is the first play from scrimmage in tonight's big rematch. Looks like they're changing the play from a sideline instruction. Bobby Frescas. Fake the give. He's rushed and dropped for a loss. That was super fast right there. And that gives you an idea of how quick this vaunted Dragons defense is there. Simon Taylor, Kuzi, Henderson, Simon Taylor and Kyron Smith in the front four. The backers are dynamite, registering a ton of tackles. Hag, Larry, and the Hunters. And then the four deep secondary, speed to burn with Bradley, Drayton, Duncan, and Felton. On second down, Bennett fires to the right side, picked off! And right away, that ball-hawking Dragon defense registers an Anthony Bradley interception. How about that?
Well, we talked about turnovers, and there you have your first one, and we're less than a minute to play. Let's look at this again. You see Baden back to pass there. Pretty good rush on him. A great play by Bradley. It tipped off the intended receiver. Bradley picked it up and put the Dragons in great scoring position, Will.
Boy, what a sudden turn of events. 1st and 10 for the Dragons, setting up outside the 25-yard line of the Bulldogs. A bump in the backfield, however, he stays on his feet and drills a strike on a deep crossing pattern to Bradley on a pinpoint strike from Derek Shelton. He's the QB. The running back, Felton, and you're going to see some shifty moves from 26, and they also have 4 wideouts, Bradley, Tanner, Williams, and Moore. There's your interior line as the Dragons work deep in the red zone, but whistles stop play.
Wow.
There you see
There's
a little
Felton.
sample of Felton.
I watched that move, even though it was a whistle.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
Wow, there you see encroachment on the D there, Will. And now a nice 5-yard penalty there inside around the 3. And I'll tell you, it's early in this ball game, but Folsom better wake up quickly. Here the Dragons in a great position to strike.
Fake the run, throw for the corner, bobbled by Bradley and incomplete. Boy, that was some dangerous coverage out there, applied by Folsom's C.J. Hutton, incomplete.
Well, Shelton, I see Coach McCray going to the air, 2 out of 2, first 2 plays, 2 passes. Let's see what he does on 3rd and 3 yards from the goal line.
Turn and give, they blasted up the middle, but it shut down nicely. That hole closed in a hurry.
Yeah, he lined up Felton deep. It looked like there was nowhere for him to go. Good job by defense. 3rd and goal, down on about the 2, isn't it?
Right about the 2-yard line. There you see Felton lining up in the backfield, 26, turn, and Shelton is buried after he faked it to Felton.
That whole right side of Folsom converged on him. Freeland, Viega, Hardiman really gave him no room. Cruz Lara, that is, leading in. It looks like the field goal team coming on.
It is indeed, and before we get to the Folsom defense, it's going to be a field goal attempt from Esau Perez. He's missed his only field goal attempt this year, but they do have Blackwell, who's connected for 1 out of 1. It's going to be spotted at the 10, call it a 20-yard field goal attempt from the left hash mark. Substitution coming in late for the Dragons, and checking in 54, Jalen Henderson, and he is a starter. Let's go ahead and take a look at that Bulldog defense as we have a stoppage of play. There's our game referee, Renan Maddox. So it's Lara, Hardiman, Caleb Freeland, and Viega, the front 4. George Gulowicz and Parker Clayton, the backers. And here comes a 25-yard field goal attempt, plenty of distance, and got it. So the field goal from 25 drilled beautifully, and it's a 3-0 sack high lead on the Perez field goal. So we'll look at the kick again, set up by the turnover. Nice shot from the back of the end zone. Plenty of distance, split the uprights, and a 3-0 sack high lead. And again, the Bradley interception is what provided that opportunity. From the NCOA, Renan Maddox, our white cap tonight. Richard Bakima, the ump. Stephen Stewart, our head linesman. The line judge tonight, Harold Davis. And Anthony Juarez will serve as our back judge. So the field goal comes at the 9:21 mark, 25-yarder. And a 3-0 lead for the Dragons, and that's certainly what they had hoped for, is to take the lead in this ball game.
Well, yeah, they quickly capitalize on that great turnover, great pick by Bradley.
And Gata from the 9 to the near side. It closes up fast, and he's shoved out, crossing the 25. So that's where Folsom will set up shop, 1st and 10. Trailing here, 3-0. Early shock treatment applied. The drive stalled, but they salvaged with the 3.
Well, yes, you never want to get down the red zone and come away with nothing, Will, because it works on your ball club mentally. And Sac Dragons did a good job. They great play by Bradley. The receiver was well covered, by the way, and they were in the right place at the right time. So let's see what they do now if Bennett changes his protection.
Turn and give, short yardage. That closed up, and there was nothing there at all. Look at that defensive pursuit as Rupchuk had really very little room. Gain of a couple, let's say, make it 2nd and 8.
Well, he had a running lane there, but he couldn't get to it. I'm impressed right now with Hardiman, Lara, Freeland, and Viega coming off their blocks.
And we had heard that they don't need to have a lot of blitzing to apply pressure. And that's an aggressive defensive front. Turn and give, near side running. Rupchuk blasted hard, roaring up from the secondary, who normally earns his keep with running the football, but Felton put a shot on him to close that down.
Big hit by Felton. Big down here, 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1.
Football park just shy of the 35. Call it the Folsom 34. Turn and give. Rupchuk just does hit the first down yardage.
That's a good effort. Enough to move the chains, Will. He was stopped about a yard short in there by Taylor, but give Rupchuk, as small as he is, a valiant effort. He knew where the first down marker was.
1st and 10 from the Bulldog 36. Bennett's going to roll. Pressured now and dropped. That's a sack, and we told you about it. And there, Kuzi is really a fine all-around player. A solo tackle right there.
Well, he comes into the game with 17 tackles and 1 sack, Will. And I'll tell you, as mobile as Caden Bennett is, thus far tonight, I've seen him on several occasions, and I haven't seen him get tied up this quickly. Watch this pressure. And there you see the speed.
He wants to throw. It's a screen. Rupchuk's got the reception, but 3 Dragons are there to blast him down, crossing the 30.
Well, you see Coach Richardson there. He's very concerned. And he's concerned that the Bulldogs are not staying with their blocks. And they're not, because the pursuit and the pursuit angles of that Sac defense is surprising. They haven't faced a D like this year.
No. And I think anybody who plays Sac High will have that same conclusion. They're unusually fast to the ball, and they hit like a ton of bricks when they get there. So our game referee, Renan Maddox, is going to hit Folsom with a penalty and shove them backward. A big one, major penalty.
Wow. I'm surprised they're not going half the distance to the goal. They went a little beyond half the distance.
They went from the 31-yard line to where he's spotting it at the 15. So major 15-yard penalty there. Okay, there's that Dragons nimble yet hefty defensive line. Short drop, Bennett, flushed and dropped. Hit from behind, he could not get away, and Kuzi is causing all kinds of problems now for the Bulldogs.
Well, he's playing that outside defensive end position. I tell you something, he's not only tough to run around, but he's dangerous coming from the backside and catching up with you. Watch him come from the backside. What a great individual effort. Watch the speed come around the tackle, and there he is from the backside. And I'll tell you what, those tackles, those offensive tackles of Folsom, Matt Frost and Tucker Dunbar are going to have their hands full.
3rd and 30 for the Bulldogs, operating now just outside their 15-yard line. Bennett has really been pressured here, and a flag flies. Don't want to guess, but I'd say delay of game is a fair chance on that one. It comes at the 5:53 flip side of quarter number 1. And so far, it's definitely been Sakai that's taken the initiative here in the first quarter.
Well, they certainly have control the first 6 minutes of this football game, Will, with a tremendous amount of pressure. And we discussed that in pregame. One of our keys to the football game was the sack pass rush.
Bennett pressured again, gets away, and he's going to have to eat that one. Wow. No time. And I've got to believe that the secondary coverage has been very effective. He wasn't able to find anyone.
Now, credit Peyton Hunter. Watch Peyton Hunter hunting him down.
Joe McCray doing a whale of a job with this Dragon defense that probably, despite their offensive firepower, is going to be what they hang their hat on this year. 4th and 35. Punt formation. Blasted out of there by Ngata. Bradley lets it bounce, and it takes a Bulldog bounce of 20 yards, but he's back to get it. Breaks one tackle, and another on his feet, near sideline, big gain. What a run back by Bradley. He's finally dropped at the Folsom 40, and a flag flies.
Wow, I am impressed with Anthony Bradley. What an athlete. Both sides of the football, Will. Wow, plus special teams. Outstanding.
Oh, he's as excellent as anyone in the area. So we'll see about the penalty.
Well, I think they got probably holding call.
Nevertheless, a rather electrifying punt return, particularly given that he had to run backward 20 yards just to catch up with that bounding punt.
Well, he did, and he had a man right on him that missed a tackle back on the 20. I don't know what the total on that punt was, but it had to be 60 yards plus.
Sack football at the Dragon 42-yard line. Shelton turns and gives. There he is, Felton. And he spun backward to cross the Bulldog 45, gain of about 14. First down, Dragons move the stakes.
Well, he's quick, and as you mentioned, Will, he's very shifty.
At the 44 is where the Dragons will operate from. First down. Shelton really hasn't needed to go upstairs yet, but he is an accomplished passer. Out of the gun, and whistle stop play.
Well, first 2 downs of the ball game, he threw the football, and now to staying on the ground.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense, 5-yard penalty. Still.
So -5, the Bulldogs have been hit with 3 penalties, and we played about 7 minutes. 3-0 Sakai on an early field goal following an interception by Bradley. Shelton backs up, longer count, fires left on a quick hitch. Well covered, solid tackling by the Bulldogs. And again, that stellar safety roaring up from the secondary, and they've got some great DBs at Folsom. Tanner Ward among the best in the area.
Definitely good play by Tanner Ward. Juwan Tanner, number 7, picked up a couple of yards, but great coverage by that Bulldog secondary.
2nd and 3 from the Bulldog 37, 4:24, clock rolling here, first quarter. Short drop, big rush, quick hit over the middle, excellent. That was a well-run pattern there by Jacoby Blackwell. and he was wide open.
Wide open is right. They are, not going for the bomb. He's kind of, I like the play calling thus far, Will. He doesn't need much time. He's getting the ball out under 2 seconds, so he doesn't need a lot of protection. He's hitting those 5, 7, 8-yard pass plays.
Gain of 10. They shove it up the middle, but the Bulldogs are waiting, and they handle that with no problem, no gain.
Nowhere for Felton to go. I look for right now, they're playing loose coverage in that secondary, and against receivers like Bradley, Williams, Moore, and Tanner, I can tell you right now, they're tough. They get yards after the carry. You look at this coverage now on the Sacramento side of the field. They can run those quick stops at 5, 6, 7 yards.
Well, he just moved Felton. He wants to throw. Deep right corner. Got Bradley all alone. Touchdown, Dragons.
Well, the corner let him go. And wide open, Bradley. It looked like blown coverage out there. The corner felt that he should have had help by the safety. The safety is telling him he should have stayed with a man-to-man. So that's broken coverage in that Folsom secondary.
So Sac High picking up right where they left off, bolting out to a 9-0 lead. They'll try to tack on the PAT, and that'll come from Esau Perez. Good snap, spotted, booted, got it. At 3:19 of the first, the Dragons in total control, up by 10, and here's another quick look at the steady and effective Derek Shelton of Sac High. We'll be right back. Lots more to come. Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week.
Your teenager, naturally pushing the rules to their limits. When they push too far, call the Boys Town National Hotline at 800-448-3000. Our trained counselors are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide advice and resources for problems big or small.
Daniel Ngata with a spirited run back on the ensuing kickoff. He crosses the 30, and the Bulldogs open shop with some fairly good field position here from the Folsom 31-yard line. Well, the Dragons have definitely sent a couple of important messages here in the first quarter.
Well, they have, and they showed that they're not just coming in on the reputation. Shelton is right now 2 for 3 for 37 yards, and during that drive, and 2 catches and a TD catch there by
doing.
Barnes, and I'll tell you right now, Bennett hasn't been hit like this so early in the ball game, Will. And let's see how the young junior reacts, because it seems like every play Sac has a free man.
Loss of 3, and it was Kuzi again. Bennett unable to shake him, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 14. Big rush. He's tagged hard but gets the play off and has a short hookup for maybe a 1-yard gain to C.J. Hutton.
But a beautiful open field tackle there by number 4, the young sophomore, Davron Drayton. Nice tackle.
There is a star, not of the future, a star right now. There you see number 4, just a sophomore. He's got 3 interceptions already, and he's returned 2 punts for touchdowns, and he's had a pick 6. 4 sacks thus far, and they are adding up for the Dragons. Better time for Bennett, and he fires a bullet slightly behind Badger, incomplete.
Well, the timing is a little off there. He had a defender right on him, number 1. And now Bennett drills him, and what they did on that play there, Sac went to a nickel D and lined up with a three-man front, and I think you'll see it again on third and long here, fourth and long. And Folsom not used to punting, hates to punt, doesn't like to punt, but it wouldn't cross me here where you see Bennett drop back and punt.
We'll see. Right now he's looking like he's in pass formation, and he certainly is. Fires on the run, a diving catch, and it looks like first down yardage shy of the 45. Excellent job by Ngata that time.
Yes, Joe and Nagata with a key catch, moving the chains. And there you go, Folsom gambling, if you call it a gamble. Watch Caden, three-step drop. He spots Nagata, hits him right on the money. Nice catch by Nagata. And again, the sack coverage is right on him.
Bennett keeps and runs and has a 6-yard sprint before he's drilled hard in the secondary. Coming up to make that stop and deliver a message was Peyton Hunter, middle linebacker. Nevertheless, gain of 6, make it 2nd and 4. Football now in sack territory at the sack 49. And a stoppage of play here. Time taken by the Sac Dragons, and we're going to step back ourselves for just a wee bit. Stay with us. Lots more to come. Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
A 2nd and 4 upcoming, and the Bulldogs change the play at the line of scrimmage. Direct snap, and Bennett's going to run it, and he's got first down yardage and a lot more as he scampers outside before being shoved out of bounds. Nice pickup there as he's inside the Sac High 35.
Well, once again, we're showing, Bennett is showing what we've seen in the first 3 ball games. He's their leading ball carrier and their leading passer. You can see why.
Actually, they're at the Sac 39 on the move, but down 10. The Dragons slapped them a couple times early. He's going to run it again. He spins across the 35 to about the 34. Nice little bite on first down with the clock rolling and a minute to go here in the first.
Well, he's picked up about 20 yards or so in the last 3 carries. 3 successive carries on that quarterback keeper or quarterback draw. They see something that they like. They're in a 3-man front. Look at, you're dropping 7 right now. They're dropping 8 in coverage. Take a look at that coverage right now. You ought to be able to run the football for 5 minimum.
2nd and 5. He wants to throw, looks right and runs it after a hesitation, and falls forward to the 30. He's going to be shy of a first by a yard or so, and that'll bring up 3rd and very short.
Well, right now, Sac's giving them the run. And so Folsom says, hey, takes us a little longer, but we'll take that 4, 5, 6 yards.
Gain of 4.
Now, let's see if they go back to their normal 4-man front in order to stop the run.
3rd and 1, and we have reached the end of quarter number 1, and what a start for the home team. Sac Dragons on top, 10-0, and we'll divert ourselves. We're going to pick up Rick Stewart here. He's got something special for us, Rick.
Righty, Jim Scheid, Vice Principal here at Sac High. Big game tonight, off campus, but still a home game.
That's right. So we decided to host this venue off campus for the first time in about 15 years so we could have a great crowd out here, enjoy Friday night lights, and give our fans and give our players the experience that everybody else has here in Sacramento.
Well, it's awesome, the magnitude of the game. What was it like on campus?
So we actually had our first tailgate after school because we were having a Friday night game. We thought we had a Friday afternoon tailgate. It came on the heels of our annual college fair where our seniors actually got into college for the first time in their lives, and now they're out here on the field defending the game that they won last year against Folsom. So it's a great experience.
How big is the game?
Well, you can see the crowd and you can see the hype on both sides, and I think you can see the line outside, so it seems to be pretty big.
All right, Jim, thanks for spending a moment with it. Appreciate it. All right, guys, we'll send it back up to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. And I have to tip my cap to Jim. He was instrumental in accommodating us here at Hughes Stadium for this rare opportunity from the Big House to cover Sac High. And we appreciate that. Meantime, 3rd and 1 from the Sac 30. Turn and give. Rupchuk has the first down before being shoved back. And just did get it. Look at that Sac D line. They don't give an inch. There's something interesting going on in the trenches, Jim.
Well, right now, I think that Coach Richardson has told that front five, we're going to start blocking and running the football, and you're seeing it happen.
They didn't give him a first down, a poor spot for Folsom, and they're calling it 4th and inches. Hard to believe.
We saw, oh my goodness.
Okay, Bennett outside, drives for a couple, and that actually is a first down. And again, you know, we're seeing 48 on a number of plays. I'm impressed with Peyton Hunter, middle linebacker, and he's not there by accident.
No, he's not. He's got 14 tackles and 2.5 sacks coming in here tonight. Let's have a look at the coaching staff right there. You see Coach McCray and his staff there doing a great job on defense and really had his Dragons ready here.
First down from the 26. Bennett flushed, and he's going to run it. Bounce it outside. He really put a move on there and picked up a nice chunk of yardage. Boy, I'll tell you, that was a wonderful outside move.
Well, he comes into this contest with almost 300 rushing yards, Will. That's a lot for a quarterback. He's got almost 300 coming in, and tonight he's rushed 6-7 times for probably 40 yards alone here tonight, at least.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2. Clock rolling early here in the second. And Bennett steps back and takes a gander toward that Bulldog bench as Rupchuk shifts in the backfield. Fire left, wide open. Completion and a first down gain inside the 10-yard line. That play was wide open, and a nicely run pattern there by Badger.
They audible to it. Let's look at that. You can't give Badger a 6-7 yard cushion, and they did, and that's why they changed the play, Will. That was a good call. Now let's look at the coverage here. They got 12 men on the field for sack here, and we're going to have a problem. They'll turn it down.
You saw the penalty come out. No, we got a penalty scenario here, and we'll see how they sort this out.
Well,
there you see Ngata, a dangerous receiver. He's got major statistics and drawing a ton of college interest.
I think they're going to give him a touchdown because Sac couldn't get their man off the field.
Timeout.
Oh,
Sac.
Wow.
Sorry, timeout, Sac.
Okay, point the right direction now. That's our game referee, Renan Maddox from the NCOA. Timeout taken, so they're going to talk it over early here in the second at the 10:57. Interesting start to this one, Coach Domino.
This is a great drive here.
It is a great drive. Bennett, taking it upon himself, runs for a collective 43 yards on 6 carries and twice picked up the crucial first downs when the drive was in jeopardy. David Stewart compiling our game stats tonight from Hughes Stadium.
Well, I think Coach Richardson now, settling his troops down, wisely said, look, if they're going to give us a pass rush like that, we're going to just run the football, and we'll take that 4, 5, 6 yards because they're playing with a 3-man or 4-man front. They're sometimes dropping 8 into coverage to stop our passing game. So we'll just run the football.
There you see Richardson. Before that, you saw Joe McCray, the defensive-minded head coach of Sac High. We'll see if he initiates something a little different right here. Bennett rushed and flushed, and in traffic, and he gets dropped after a gain of a couple to about the 7 before being shoved backward. Penalty marker down. Possible face mask. We'll see. Renan Maddox has been busy so far. And we're just into the first minute of the second quarter. There he is with the white cap. Holding. Ooh, my goodness. The Bulldogs uncharacteristically have been stung by some penalties here early on.
Well, they certainly have, and that couldn't have come at a worse time.
Holding.
And previous, when Sac called the timeout, I think that was a great move by Coach McRae or whomever called it, because it saved the touchdown.
First down, but they're back at the 21-yard line, 26-yard line. Bennett with time fires left side. He's got a hookup. Badgers got the pill and breaks loose. Touchdown, Bulldogs, as he shook off 2 tacklers to scramble in. That was big.
That was a huge play, a play that they needed, a clutch catch by Badger. Better yet, the run after the catch when several Dragons slipped right off him.
So after a rocky start, Bennett and company finally break through, and there you see a nice shot along the sideline. Badger, a good-sized receiver there, who can also step. So the deficit is trimmed to 10-6. On for the PAT, left-footed style from Oscar Sanchez, out of the hold of Garrett McClure. Nice chip, nice technique, and got it. At 10:37, early second. Bulldogs are on the board. It's now 10-7, and there you see Bennett with the strike. And there you see Badger scrambling away from the coverage. We'll be right back for a whole lot more from Hughes Stadium. Stay with us.
Who wants to hear a story?
Once upon a time, there were 3 billy goats.
The tiniest Billy Goat Grunt.
The biggest billy goat grunt. Roared the troll. It's an ugly troll. Eyes as big as saucers.
And the Billy Goat was so heavy that the bridge
Way up was a bridge they had to cross. And under it? Why, thank you.
The Bulldogs on the board, but trailing it here 10-7 and set to kick off. 2 dangerous receivers deep, Bradley and Drayton. It's going toward Drayton, the sophomore from the 11. Coming to the near side, cannot get away, but for a little guy, tough to bring down, but great downfield coverage by the Dogs. And Sac will open shop with below average field position from the Sac High 17.
Well, that's great coverage, particularly by Danny Nagata coming down the field and hitting Drayton before he got started. That's tremendous open field coverage by Nagata. Young Dan, the young sophomore.
Okay, so Shelton and company ready to rock, leading at 10-7, but operating in the danger zone. Good protection, fires deep left side, out of bounds, and a hit out of bounds delivered by, yes, that man that we've mentioned before, and we're going to mention him again, Tanner Ward, 22, incomplete.
Yeah, now there was a little more pressure on Shelton that time, and he did not get the ball out in the normal 2 seconds and run the short routes. That was a longer route, approximately 15, 20-yard route, and he needed more time.
He's ready to go now, and I'm going to give you some information when there's a chance. Boy, that closed up fast.
It sure did.
Nothing but no daylight for Felton. In that last scoring drive by the Bulldogs, Bennett was 3 out of 3 for 49 yards, including the touchdown, and he carried 6 times for 43. Tremendous individual effort. Nice stats from David Stewart, and Badger had 2 catches in that drive for 33, including the touchdown. 3rd and 9. key play for both teams. Shelton looks left all the way, deep lob after it, incomplete. A little bit overthrown, but a nice air out to keep the secondary honest. And they're going to have to probably punt the football. Juwan Tanner, the intended receiver.
Well, that was a great series for the Folsom D. They gave up a couple of yards to Felton and then 2 incomplete passes, forcing the Dragons to punt from deep down the territory. And Folsom should get the ball at very good field position somewhere between the 40 and the 50 right now. And as this game is beginning to change a little bit here in the last 3-4 minutes.
Well, they're versatile Anthony Bradley in punt formation, a wide receiver, defensive back, kick returner, and punter. Booming line drive over the top, way over C.J. Hutton. Look at that bounce.
Wow.
And that is going to be a super colossal punt that's finally downed at the Folsom 17.
Wow. A tremendous punt. 67-yard punt. And he got great end-over-end bounce at the end of when the ball soared past the intended punt returner. And, wow, that got him out of trouble quickly.
Boy, oh boy. Tanner realized immediately that he was way too shallow on that. So the Dogs line up at their own 17, 1st and 10 with 9:20 to go. Quick hitch right side, a completion, but well covered right there again.
Well covered, but you know what? That receivers have got to do a better job out there, particularly Parker Clayton there has got to make his block. They're known. Yes, Larry and Bradley with the hits, but the receivers are at Folsom are known for their mirror blocking, really in the secondary for their intended receivers.
5 wide receivers out for the Bulldogs. Quick shot, and Gada's got the catch, but he's dropped immediately just outside the 25. Short gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Well, right now, Bennett is taking what they give him. Okay, let's look at this again. This only picked up about probably 5-6. A quick one out there to number 10, Nagata. A hit again by Bradley. Bradley's getting a lot of activity at that corner, isn't he?
Oh, he's tremendous.
Those are 2 gifted athletes, and now we have a penalty coming up.
Folsom is going to be tagged with their 4th penalty in the first 11 and a half minutes of this ball game.
Well, very unlike Folsom. However, they've been hit, and it's hurt them.
2nd and 15. Bennett's got time, but gets flushed and dropped. Oh my goodness. Heavy Dragons pass pressure.
Well, it is. That front 4 gives pressure, but what I notice, if Bennett doesn't get the ball out, Wakabe's number 50 with the big hit, but look at the pressure coming up now. Okay, here they are. And they're all over the place. All right.
And again, Coach,
Hunter.
It was Wakabisi and Peyton Hunter.
Peyton Hunter having a big night. Coming in here with 2.5 sacks, 14 tackles, and big hole. Folsom with 5 penalties worth 57 yards.
Uncharacteristic, but Sacramento is forcing that. 2nd and 13 from the 13.
Well, let's see if they go to a 3-man front and drop 8. Let's look at this. Again?
Again. That's 6 penalties. Tack on another 5.
My goodness.
They are backed up.
Okay, now they're moving
to
into a 4-man front, dropping 7 into coverage.
Bennett flushed in the end zone and throws incomplete, just trying to get rid of the football. And that play had no chance of success. Daniel Ngata, the intended receiver.
No way. No way. He had to get rid of it or he takes a safety, Will. He takes a safety.
I'll tell you, Wakabisi's off the bench. He has 3.5 sacks, but he's kind of their hybrid linebacker type. And Joe McCray and his fired-up Dragons are controlling this game. Bennett, a shovel pass from his end zone, complete across the 10 to about the 12, but well short of a first down. Rupchuk with the catch and run.
Shuttle pass is complete to number 5.
Let's look at this again from his end zone. Watch Bennett start to roll left, run the shovel pass back against the green with Rupchuk. Rupchuk picking up about 8-9 yards, but not enough. Nice stop by Felton in the open field tackle. Big yardage, 23 to go.
Is it 4th and 15? I don't know. I can't see that good. But Bennett wants to throw a bullet on a crossing pattern to Badger. He's across the 25 to about the 27 or 8.
Incomplete pass, though.
He did drop it. That was on the money.
Ball was right there by Bennett. You don't see Badger dropping many.
And you don't see the opposition taking over on downs deep in the red zone. Another look.
Wow.
That was a drop.
Wow. Ball was right there. Here's Sack with a golden opportunity. Let's see what Sheldon can do here.
From the Folsom 12, 1st and 10, 7:40 to go. Nearing midway second. Sack up by 3.
They're playing so loose on the far side.
Shelton rushed hard and he throws it away after major pressure coming from the blind side. And I'll tell you, that was a real shot from Cruz Lara.
Well, if we saw that replay, you'll see huge cushion on the top of your screen, and you're looking at it again. Right up top, they're playing off the receivers. There's Shelton on the last play, going to the left.
Okay, 2nd and 10. Nothing doing.
No, great effort there by Felton. Great effort, nowhere for him to go. Got back to the line of scrimmage.
He's one of the very best open field and shifty change direction type runners in the area. 3rd and 1. They need to make
10.
the 13-yard line to pick it up.
No.
Shelton with time, a slant near the goal line. A breakup.
Watch the hits there in the end zone here. This is a great, this saves a touchdown. Shelton puts the ball on the money right there. Tremendous hit in that secondary. Outstanding, stops it. Great.
Yeah, that was a pinpoint strike, and it should probably have been hauled in, but a real shot from behind.
Barner,
to break
number
that
16, with a big hit. Isaiah Barner with a great hit to stop the touchdown.
So another field goal attempt coming up from Esau Perez. It's going to be a 29-yarder. Got distance. Got it at 6:51. Second quarter. The Dragons stretch out 13-7. We'll be right back, so don't wander off. Lots more to come. Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Every year, tens of thousands of young people experience homelessness. If you or someone you know needs help, 1-800-RUNAWAY can provide support and connect you to the right resources. Together, we can end youth homelessness.
Okay, the relentless Sacramento High Dragons again. Their drive stalls, but again, through the efforts of Esau Perez, they salvage with a field goal and stretch their lead a bit, 13-7 now. It comes at the 6:51, and we mentioned that this game had tremendous intensity, and the fans getting a little chippy out here at Hughes Stadium. There's the kickoff, far side range, nearly out of bounds on the play. And he is out of bounds. They're going to mark him at just shy of the 10, it looks like. So if that's the case, poor field position upcoming. And players are now being scrutinized more heavily by their respective coaches because tempers and emotions are flaring. And we are early on, still midway second. A good crowd on the Sacramento side, a terrific crowd. On the Folsom side, quite frankly, I expected more. However, you see Chris Richardson left, Joe McCray right, straight snap. Bennett's got it, zigzag move, and he falls forward to the 14-yard line.
7-yard gain, 2nd 6 Bulldogs.
They give him 4 on the play. We'll make it 2nd and 6 from the 13-yard line. And the Bulldogs are going with no huddle and a hurry-up offense. Triple wide to the near side. Fire left. Got a completion on a slant. Nicely done. And a gang tackle to finish the play at the 20-yard line. And that is first down yardage to Badger.
Well, once again, I think what Coach Richardson's trying to do, and offensive coordinator Bobby Fresquez now, take what they give you. If they're going to play the 3-man front, we may run the football when they're dropping 8 into coverage. And notice there's a lot less pressure going on because Bennett's getting the ball out early.
Well, our game referee, Renan Maddox, is calling a timeout. Reason unknown, but he's going directly to the Sackeye bench, and probably Joe McCray and staff want some clarification. And we'll resume play momentarily. But this has been, so far, a powder keg, and the fuse is lit. 13-7, Dragons. Folsom trying to get up off the deck.
Yeah.
Well, besides the action on the field, there's action in the stands, and we are seeing first aid and a gurney being rolled to the end of the stadium. So evidently an injury among the spectators while watching this action, and it has been fierce. And I imagine the loyalties on both sides have also been fierce. And there you see part of our Hughes Stadium security. Don't know the story, but Rick Stewart may have an update for us. I believe he was right there. Meantime, Bennett fires, overthrown. Badger, the intended receiver, but double coverage. They had him bracketed on both sides.
They certainly have. Drayton was running with him and so forth. And now, we've got a lot of interference apparently going on. And a little distractions in the bleachers going on.
Well, you can see that there's some unrest on the near side here at Hughes Stadium, and there's also unrest on the field. Here's Bennett, a toss, sweep left. Nice little bit of getting outside for a respectable short yardage gain, and it was the outstanding Rupchuk with the carry. They're going to give him about 4 on the play. We'll make it 3rd and 6.
A key down here for Folsom. Yeah, as you know, they do not like to punt the football, but they'd like to move the chains. And I foresee them, despite only being on the 25-yard line, they're going to treat it like they're, in a position almost in the red zones. They don't want to give up the football on this drive.
Triple wide to the right. Broken up and nearly picked.
Well, again, he was late with the ball and behind the receiver. And number 10 is wide open. Yes, there's coverage by Bradley, but 10 was open. And I tell you, the ball sailed because right now in his anxiety to get the ball out, Caden is throwing the ball off his back foot and it's sailing on him.
Well, it brings up a 4th down and no sign of a punt. Chris Richardson's got his pedal to the metal. Fire left, a hook up. Badgers got it. 1st down and a lot more as he maneuvers across the 40 to about the 43. Clutch there on 4th down.
Let's have a look at that again on that completion to Badger for about 12. That's what he needs to do, get the ball out quickly. Badger protecting the ball.
From the 43 of Folsom, deep throw, left side, got a man wide open. Broken up at the last moment, and Gata had a step, and the ball stalled just a wee bit, and that great recovery speed was the difference.
That is a great save. That had touchdown written all over it. Watch the coverage in the secondary. Watch this last second effort by Felton. What a great effort. He saved the touchdown.
That he did. 2nd down and 10. Clock stopping at the 5:24. Rupchuk left side running, waits for the block and squirts ahead, crosses midfield and rumbles near the 1st down yardage.
Great second effort by Rupchuk. He just is a coach's dream, according to Coach Richardson. He really does. He comes to play every day. He'll play anywhere Coach wants. He can block, he can catch the football, and for a little guy, runs hard. Watch this extra effort here. Rupchuk turns a corner. Watch him after contact get extra yards, twist and turn for another 3 or 4 after contact.
He's inches short, and the chain crew has moved that stake now 3 times toward the 1st down yardage, which, by the way, is on the Folsom side of the field. So interesting there on where they spotted it and how they changed it.
Well, that's a Sacramento chain crew, and that sideline judge has got to help out a little bit too and watch those chain people. They're volunteers and doing the best job they can, but you know what? Someone's got to keep a close eye on them.
They're going to measure now. After it was about a yard short, then it became about an inch short, and so now they'll go ahead and have a compulsory measurement. Renan Maddox, our white cap referee tonight. And they pull the chain, and it's inconclusive.
3rd and 1. Well, we knew that. We thought it was a little more than that, but nonetheless, Folsom's not going to give up the football. They're going to try to get in the end zone and get one before the half, obviously.
Now, they might try for the big play on 3rd and then come back on 4th if they need it. So 3rd and inches. Nothing doing. That's a hit for a loss, and I'll tell you, Kuzi has been ultimately impressive.
Well, no one accounts for him on the backside. Watch how far he goes to make this tackle. Watch Kuzi here. This is great. From right on the outside in, no one touches him.
And enough power to drop Rupchuk. So here's 4th and 1. And a look to the bench. Let's see what they decide to run here on short yardage. He's going to keep it. Bang! Oh, yes. You know, they haven't accounted for him yet.
Wow.
Kuzi has been a dynamo. What a stop. Here's another look.
Watch Kuzi come on so fast. Inside, he splits the tackle and the tight end before the tackle got out of his stance.
And Bennett looked amazed at that type of penetration. The ball goes over. 1st and 10 for the Dragons at the Folsom 45. Shelton on a cross, incomplete. A little off target and behind Bradley there. Here's another look. So far, the Dragon defense has accumulated 3 sacks for -10, and they've had some other plays that have just been. Here's a bad snap and a bobble, but Shelton falls on it. And I kind of like the way he didn't take any chances in covering that
No,
up.
I don't blame him at all. Now, my question is, I can't see the scoreboard, how many timeouts Folsom has remaining. I believe they have 3 left. Now, it's time for them to start using timeouts here on defense if they want to get the ball back. Clock management is extremely important here, and they can't just let the clock tick away.
It's 3rd and 20 from the Sac 45. Shelton has time. The big bomb, way overthrown, incomplete.
Well, once again, Shelton dropping deep, and Cornelius with good coverage down the field. They went for the bomb, and early in this ball game, Shelton was throwing the quick strikes. I notice here he's going a little deeper. He needs more protection to throw that home run ball.
Chris Richardson certainly approves of that defensive effort, a solid stop on consecutive downs.
Well, they got to feel the ball on this punt. Number 3 has got to feel that ball. That's C.J. Hutton. He cannot let the ball take that top spin.
So Bradley to punt. Outside is 30. Good rush, but a high, booming, nice hang time punt that'll have to be left alone to trickle out of bounds inside the Folsom 20. No deposit, no return.
Well, 67-yard punt followed by this out-of-bounds punt with no return is a great job. It really is.
Despite engineering the Dragon offense to gain the lead, Shelton has missed on his last 6 pass attempts, and the majority of them were longer passes.
Well, we like what he did early. He didn't need max protection, and he got the ball out early, and his receivers got open early.
1st and 10 from the Bulldog 18 with 2:58 to go. Fire left. Badger cuts it back and has running room and breaks it. Finally gang tackled by 3 Dragons near the Folsom 45. And again, Kuzi in on the stop for the Dragons along with Kyron Smith. 1st and 10. A smattering of Folsom fans coming down the hill. As I mentioned, expected 5 times that many. Bennett, a bullet left sideline for Ngata. Right on the money between his numbers as he casually steps out of bounds at the Sac 42.
Notice a big difference here in the second part of the second quarter, and that's protection up front by the Folsom. They've made some adjustments. They're keeping more guys in the block, and despite the fact that Sac is dropping 8 into coverage, they're finding people open.
Quarterback draw, well defended, perhaps a yard gain as Bennett falls forward to the 41. 2nd and 9.
Folsom with a no huddle here. They've got 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock.
After Sac has controlled, I won't say dominated, controlled this first half, a quick strike TD could put the Bulldogs ahead at the intermission.
Well, it could, and that's what the Bulldogs want, a little momentum at the halftime, and then a typical second half Folsom coming alive here.
Looks like an equipment problem for middle linebacker Peyton Hunter, who comes out of the contest, and he's replaced by Inoki Wakavisi.
2 on the game clock.
Well, Wakavisi has done a great job this year, and it's amazing. He can't start in this outfit, but probably one of the top reserves in the area.
Unquestionably, and he's had high praise from head coach Joe McCray, who really is fond of his defensive unit and what they can do. A pass completed there near first down yardage, and it's been Badger.
Well, he's got to give him a shade better spot, another foot. It may be enough to move the chains, but I think he took about a foot away from him.
He did.
Gosh. Drayton, young sophomore, with a nice play there. Caden Bennett is now moving along, 8 for 16, Will, 125 yards, has 1 pick, which was really on the second play of the game.
And now they've changed it to a first down, Jim.
I see very inconsistent chain
management is suspect.
Yes.
1st and 10. Football parked at the Sac 32 after the change of the spot. Twin wide receivers left and right for the Bulldogs. And it certainly appears that Caden Bennett, after a shaky start, has settled down.
I think Folsom, I don't know if the clock's running here or what's going on.
Clock is dead. And Renan Maddox looking toward the Sac High bench and toward the press box for the clock for an adjustment, apparently. Now it shows 1:40. So we're ready to rock. First down. Bulldogs on the move. Bennett wants to throw and has great protection. And now flush. Chased and grabbed. Dragged down. Larry. Larry.
Wow. Great play by E.J. Larry. You know, that's not a good decision there by quarterback Bennett. Not a good decision. You take a loss. The clock is moving. You've got to get the ball out of bounds or out of his hands. I mean, give credit to Larry. That's not a good decision.
Intercepted by Bradley on Bennett's next pass. Tremendous, and a heck of a nice tackle there. And to shut that down, but another interception. Interceptions 2 and 3 on the season.
Correct, 2 in this ball game.
Here's our game referee.
Play. We have a dead ball, personal foul on the return team. All right, 15 yards from the end of the run. Be first down, Sac.
Renan Maddox with the call. Bradley, his second theft. And let's take a look.
Have a look at this. Forcing the ball there. The receiver was in front of him all the way. That's not a good decision on the part of Bennett.
Well, a major penalty walk-off. However, the Dragons will have the football here with less than a minute to go in the half. And the Dragons' heavy pressure has taken a toll here in the first half of a low-scoring game at 13-7. Shelton, as our statistician David Stewart has mentioned, has missed his last 6 passes in a row. They run the draw. Big burst. There he goes. Felton, shifty and quick to the 35.
Let's have a look at this as you see Nagata make the tackle with Bradley with his second pick of the night.
We see pushing and shoving in the background, and this game's getting a little unraveled as the next play is nearly first down yardage to the 45 with 44 seconds to go. That play was in slow motion, and Shelton, frankly, thought the play was dead.
Wow.
There is mass confusion swirling around Hughes right now. So they gain 9 out of 10. 2nd and 1.
Well, there seems to be some confusion and disagreement here among things occurred down there on the field in that last play of the game there where you see all these Sac coaches on the field. And normally they don't let you put more than one coach on the field here.
Well, maybe Rick Stewart can kind of get a sense of what's going on as far as the frustration, the confusion, and the anger that is starting to escalate a bit as you see Bradley there with following his second interception of Bennett. But our officiating crew from the NCOA talking it over as you see a shot there of the Dragons sideline area as Sac High leads it 13-7 in the closing seconds of the first half. I want to remind you that Rick Stewart will be briefly chatting with the head coaches at the intermission, but right now Shelton out of the gun. Looks left all the way, fires deep, and a diving catch inside the 20-yard line. Oh my goodness. What a reception there.
Number
Jawan Tanner.
Wow. Great catch. Tremendous coverage. If we take another look at that, I don't know if we'll have time, but wow, that is tremendous concentration and focus on the part of Tanner, Jawan Tanner.
Gain of 24, loose football on the ground, but whistles are going to blow this dead. And
no.
Let's take a look at this superior reception and a nice throw by Shelton.
Shelton puts the ball up and watch Tanner here with great concentration despite the coverage by Barner. Now, right there you had to see Shelton had to save
We have
time.
intentional grounding on the offense. 5 yards, and it'll be a loss of down.
As this game continues to turn even more weird. Stoppage on the field with 28 seconds remaining. Still 13-7 Dragons, but Shelton just aired that one out for a gain of 24. That's incorrect. It was a gain of 34. So we're going to get clarification here. If the fans were expecting excitement, they're getting that plus intrigue. Okay. Shelton and the Dragons ready to go with 28 seconds left. Double wide receivers left and right. Blitz, trying to get away and cannot. Heavy pressure, and that was a tremendous pass rush. Turned in there, number 52 all over him, Tyler Hardiman.
Well, once again, Will, we said here they were down on the 20-yard line. Let's look at this again. Here's Shelton back to pass under heavy direction, trying to flush the pocket. A tremendous Folsom put a lot of heat on him and putting him out of field goal range.
A penalty marker as an attempted reception by Tanner was broken up. And it looks like it's going to be pass interference, and it looks like they're going to call Cornelius for it.
Well, either Cornelius or Joe Nagata. Let's take a look.
All right, so we got.
Okay, that's the initial.
Pass interference on the defense, 15 yards from the previous spot.
15 yards from the previous. The quarter has expired,
Anthony.
but it can't expire on a defensive penalty.
They get one play.
Yep. So, throw for the end zone, right,
The
Coach?
half is over. I'm assuming he's out of range. He's field goal range, so he's got to go for the end zone.
But the kicker is in. Let's take another look.
You see Shelton back to pass. Wow, he was going ball. Wow.
They have brought on Esau Perez, and they're going to tee it from the 31. It's going to be a 41-yarder from the left hash mark if indeed they do try the kick.
Well, that's a question. I wonder if Javon Duncan can throw the football, the holder. I don't know.
Well, we know he can run. So here we go, and not quite.
Folsom timeout. They want to put a little pressure on a little mental pressure on Perez.
So far, he's been up to it tonight with a pair of field goals and a PAT for 7 of his own. And we understand that he's got enough leg to hit from there.
Well, I think he will. I think that what you have to be real careful here is a bad snap, a block kick. I'm not saying playing it conservative. Apparently they got enough confidence in him unless they have a fake field goal with a Duncan pass.
Well, head coach Joe McRae says they've been working very diligently on their special teams proficiency, particularly the kicking game.
Yeah.
Again, want to remind you, Rick Stewart will be visiting with our respective coaches, and maybe we can get Danny up here to deliver a special message, but here we go as Esau Perez they tee it at the 30. It's a fake. Over the middle. Incomplete, but an excellent try. Folsom was aware, but I had a feeling they'd try a gadget there. And it's broken up, and the half has concluded. Cornelius with the defensive play on that. Nice throw.
It was.
13-7 in a sticky first half. Let's turn our attention to Mr. Rick Stewart. What you got, buddy?
All right, Coach, first half impression?
It's a tough one. You got to play a little bit better D. A little bit better offense. Defense is doing pretty well, but offense got to move the ball for us. They're putting us in a bad spot.
The defense is quick. Is that putting a lot of pressure on Folsom to do something they don't want to do?
I think so. Them driving all the way down the field is something that I don't think they've really seen this year. So I think putting that pressure on them is putting them in a position that they don't want to be in.
What's the one key in the second half for you?
Offense got to move the ball.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Thanks, Coach. All right, guys. We'll send it back up to you.
Well, thank you, Rick. It has been an interesting first half here at Hughes Stadium in the rematch, as Folsom has come down the hill to take on Sac at Hughes and try to avenge that stunning upset from a year ago. Well, that being the case, you don't want to wander off too far. Stay with us, much more to come. We're at the half here at Hughes Stadium. Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
I was kind of just asking her, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her, thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Nice score you can see there, 13-7. Sacramento leads Folsom. Number 1 Folsom, I might add, here tonight at Hughes Stadium on the campus of Sacramento City College. I'm here with Marco Lopez, athletic director at Sacramento High. How big is this game tonight for you guys?
It's huge. It's huge. Coming back from last year's victory up in Folsom, we knew these guys were going to come out with everything. So we're just trying to hold our own. It's a good game right now. Luckily, our kicking game is doing well, and we'll see what the second half looks like.
Well, your defense looks real good too, but how about other sports on campus?
Right now, same thing as always. Our basketball program is gearing up. They stay ready year long. Our soccer programs as well, but definitely our boys and girls basketball programs.
How solid are they going to be this year? I mean, it's perennial strength.
It's perennial strength. Our varsity boys are going to be a little young, but they're growing quick. Our young ladies, we're returning a lot of juniors, so that's going to help us out. The experience lacked a little bit last year, but this year, Coach Massari, she's doing a great job, so is Coach Earl with the boys.
Well, that sounds good, and experience is a big factor too. How about some of the spring sports coming up after that?
The biggest one that we're excited is Coach Munguia with his baseball crew. He's doing Sac High baseball has been a long trajectory here in Sacramento. Coach Munguia is putting a lot of work. Again, the young team is affected us a bit, but with time, it's only going to get better.
Sounds good, Marco. We're going to take a break. Stick around with me if you can. I can see our principals here, so we're gonna preempt you there. But thanks for coming by and spending some time with us, Marco.
Always great.
We're going to take a break. 13-7 is the halftime score. We'll be right back after this break.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts. Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
(13-7) is the score. Sacramento High School, the Dragons lead over number 1 Folsom High School here on the campus of Sac City College. Great night for football. I'm here with the principal of Sac High, Shannon Wheatley. Tell me about what's going on at school. I mean, this is huge for school, over and above athletics.
That's right. We're really proud of and excited for this week. We have a lot of things that are going on. We have today a college fair, a historically black college fair hosted on campus, and several of our students, several of our scholars actually were accepted into college on the spot. Wow. And that just goes with our school mission. We are a college preparatory school. We have a mission of preparing our scholars to go to and through college. And I think this game also helps get our kids ready for that college spirit too. And we've got a great coaching staff, we've got a great teaching staff, and a great group of parents and community supporting us. And it's just exciting to be over here and excited about the 13-7 lead so far at halftime.
I would be too. How many students in school?
So we have about 800 students. We serve primarily Oak Park, but we are an open enrollment school, so we're proud to serve Greater Sacramento. So there's lots of part of the city that because of our students, we also get to call home. And one of the things that's great about our school is our culture. Regardless of where you're from, regardless of where you're starting, our mission is pretty singular, and that's to prepare kids to go to college. And one of the things that I think is great is out here on the field, we get to see kids be able to work together across grade levels with different interests. Some of them want to be doctors and lawyers, some of them want to do different things. And again, this evening and this atmosphere here at Hughes Stadium is something that we're all excited about.
Well, and this was building since last year, a couple of minutes after the game, obviously. And this is just an environment that, over and above athletics, the whole school's involved.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the thing is, we're really proud because we've got folks who are here supporting. We have alumni that are here watching the game. We have people that are just the fans of the Dragons that are here. And then I also know it's exciting, too, for the Folsom community as well. I know that last year's game was sad for them. It was great for us. But we're also really glad to actually have that partnership, not only with Folsom, but other schools in the area. And again, I know that their boys have been working hard, and they've got teachers and parents and community members that support them, too. So I think, in general, it's a great win. We're also really glad to be here at Sac City, one of our partners as well.
As you mentioned the culture, what's the biggest thing that you have to be, I guess, aware of to try and build the culture further?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is really letting our kids know that regardless of where they're coming from or their background, that we're going to prepare them to go to and through college. And we have an agreement with our kids, with our family and our staff, that we put college preparation as our #1 priority. And with that commitment also comes greater things that we see out here. We have kids who not only are just playing football to play football, but we're having the conversation of what do you want to study and major in when you go and play college football. As well, we've got students that are trainers. We have a lot of folks that are also learning a lot of different things. And I think the other thing, too, around culture is just being really sincere and having an open heart. We do talk a lot about love and care. We talk a lot about relationships at our school. And we know that relationships sometimes are earned. Like every high school in America, sometimes you've got to work a little harder to build those relationships. But we're really excited about where we are as a school right now. We're really proud, again, of the folks that are putting in a lot of great work. And it's never been a greater time to be a Sacramento Dragon.
Well, and you talk about culture, too. And you could look at your head coach, Coach McCray. He's come up through the ranks with Sacramento High School football-wise, but he's also on campus too. He's a dean at one of the areas of school, correct?
That's correct. He's one of our deans on campus, and so we have a perspective on deans. Their main focus is relationships. And because he's been here for a while, he's worked up through the ranks, he's built those relationships. But one of the things that we love and respect most about Coach McCray is that his daughter goes to school here. So on parent night, we were concerned about where the coach was and where he was being with the deans, and in fact, he was actually talking to the other teachers of his daughter too. So he's someone who's bought into the program. He's someone that we have a lot of confidence in the way that he's rallied the boys over this past summer and this year. And I think they play with a lot of heart because they know that he cares a lot about them too.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, Shannon. It was a pleasure to meet you, and best of luck going forward here at Sac High.
All right, thank you. Go Dragons.
All right, 13-7 is the score here at halftime. We'll be right back after a break.
Welcome back to the fray. We are at the rapidly expiring intermission here at Hughes Stadium tonight for Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. And this large crowd has been treated to an intense game that has had its ups and downs and a little bit more than that. Right now, 13-7, number 6 Sac on top at the half over top-ranked Folsom. And again, this rematch follows the major upset of the area a year ago when these two squads met up the hill in Folsom, and Sacramento busted a 52-game Sac Joaquin section winning streak with a remarkable 32-27 victory over the #1 Bulldogs. Of course, they're trying to avenge that setback as we see the Bulldogs coming out onto the field from the Hughes Stadium runway. And they're down 6, but certainly a predicament that they are not accustomed to, because it doesn't happen very often. In the previous 3 games for Folsom, they have lit up the scoreboard with totals of 56, 55, and 45, and right now settling for 7 through the first half of this ball game. It would have been fascinating, I'm sure, to be in either of the locker rooms at the half to hear the game plan modified for each team. And there are going to be some adjustments and counter adjustments. So this second half coming up is going to be a sight to behold. And again, a terrific Sac-High crowd on hand, and we'll see how fired up they can get when we come back. Don't wander off. Second half just ahead.
So there you are. It's flu season, and you're over 65 like me. You might be forgetting something serious. Your annual flu shot. The flu can be life-threatening, especially if you have chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease, which can worsen with the flu. The immune system weakens with age. Ask about a flu vaccine option made specifically for us. Visit ncoa.org/flu to learn more and talk to your doctor about vaccine options for people 65 and older.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts. Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Coach Richardson, first half impression.
We didn't play very well. Defense is keeping us in the game. Obviously, offensive execution was abysmal by us. But we went in. We'll come out and fix it in the second half.
What's the key?
Execution. Pretty simple. Defense is only gave. We haven't executed well. We've given them a short field on drop balls and not executing our game plan. So show up, compete, and do our job.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Thanks. All right, guys, back up to you. 13-7. It's a close game.
That it is, Mr. Stewart. Certainly a lot closer than most people thought it would be at this juncture. And Chris Richardson, ever always cool, the commander-in-chief, but I can imagine he has had considerable consternation during this first half.
Well, I would think so, but he has enough confidence in his team that they can figure this out, and his coaches, and they got to execute. And, it appeared to me particularly the first half of the first quarter, it did not appear that Folsom was their normal self in being up for the game. Now, we can all say, gosh, how could you not be up for this game? But you know what? You got to be ready to play every down, every play, every snap. And it appeared to me, if you watch the film and the replays, that they weren't given protection to Bennett. They weren't given second effort after missed blocks, and it appeared that first quarter was like they were somewhere else. This wasn't the real Folsom.
I had the same impression, and throughout the years we have seen just some tremendous execution and polish, but not in the first quarter tonight. The keys to the game that the Imperator had cited early on remain the same.
Turnover battle. Well, we know Sac is winning the turnover battle. And it's hurt them. It's resulted in points against Folsom. The pass rush, number 2. They put on a big pass rush to Bennett. And Bennett would take some losses early. The Folsom passing attack versus mismatches. Right now, the mismatches are not hurting Sac at all. Their secondary is extremely athletic, and helping them more than anything is that great pass rush. Big game coaching experience right now, the first half. Let's see what happens the second half if, in fact, the Folsom big game experience can come out here and adjust their offense and defense and play ball.
Here's the left-footed boot, Oscar Sanchez. Bradley has it go between the wicket, touchback out to the 20, and that's where the Dragons will open shop here to begin the third quarter. As the Imperator stated, 13-7, a touchdown and a pair of very excellent Esau Perez field goals. And you see Bradley there, 2 key interceptions in that first half after Bennett had thrown only 1 in the first 3 games.
Well, he's got 3 now, and 2 he'd like to have back.
So the Dragons operate from their own 20 as we open the third quarter. Quick opener and a slash to the 25, about a 4-yard gain. And, you know, he is just starting to get loose. Javon Felton, I have seen some shifty runners since we've been doing 20 years of Game of the Week. And he's among the best of them, and I expect him to have a long gainer somewhere along the line.
Well, he might break one there. He picked up 4. Look at this.
Bradley's wide open.
And credit a great stalk block out there by number 10, Dante Moore. Moore held his block. That was a design play to Bradley. Watch this if you can, and you'll see Dante Moore stalk blocking, helping him out. There it is. Here's the block I'm talking about.
And it was Cornelius that got shoved out of the play. Gain of 16, 1st and 10. Dragons from the sack 36. We're just underway here in the third. Dragons on top, 13-7. Good protection. Shelton to throw. Deep throw. Got a man out there. A diving catch. And bobbled away for an incompletion. He had it until he hit the ground. And we've seen Tanner out there a number of times, and it seems like each of the 3 times they've gone to him, there's been an overthrow.
Wow.
They call it a completion, and the ground caused the ball to pop, and I thought that was the rule. Imperator, what's your analysis as we see it again?
My feeling is he has to have control. Now let's look at this.
A grab and he tucks it and hits the ground and pops out. I kind of like the call.
Well, after the replay gives us a better account, okay, than the original. And to me, I wonder if he had total control.
A bullet over the middle, low and incomplete. And boy, heavy pressure that time. 3 blitzers coming in very hot.
Well,
yes.
Tanner Ward had an opportunity to make an interception there. That call there, but you know, let's look at it one more time. Here's that play deep. And there's the catch by Tanner. And the question is, what caused the fumble? I don't see total control.
Draw play, there he is. Felton, loose, zigzag move, bounce it outside, 10, 5, shoved out just shy of the goal line, it looks like, at the 1. And there he is, 26. I guess you could call that kind of a long gainer, huh?
Well, I'll tell you, that was the best run of the night. Oh, no.
Penalty.
That was an outstanding run. Inside, outside, great moves, and then speed to turn the corner down there, Will.
That was a 31-yard run, disallowed, negated, wiped out. And our game referee, Renan Maddox, walking it off. Let's see it again because
there's that draw play to Felton, a missed tackle. Now he shrugged off another tackle. Watch him head to the outside, turn it on, and they finally knock him out of bounds on about the 2-3 yard line. Outstanding 31-yard run negated.
From the 44, Shelton dropped. He tried to dump it, but he was sacked, clearly.
And that's what they're calling. That is what they're calling. And looked like Tyler May with a great play there, sacking him and putting them at a loss again. between the penalty and that sack, Will, they just lost about 25 yards.
They certainly did. Cruz Lara also applying pressure on that play, and after the penalty wipes out the Felton run, big defense shown by the Bulldogs. 2nd and 32.
Well, that's a third sack for Folsom, and they got a -10 with that 3 sacks on the part of Folsom.
Deep throw, right sideline, going for Drayton, and a breakup by Cornelius, and a flag pops out. Oh boy.
Well, you know, the back judge made the call, and that's why you got 4 or 5 officials out there, but the sideline judge running.
Holding, offense, pass interference on the defense. Those penalties will offset. Replay 3rd down.
And you were asking me earlier if we thought Sac was going to sneak Drayton into the ball game on offense. Here's another look.
Well, there it is. There's Drayton down the field.
Nice breakup.
I don't know if you could play any better defense than that.
No, that was an excellent coverage with the nice stretch. It looked like he didn't touch him, but they're closer than we are. So they return the football to the Sac 47-yard line. 2nd and 32 from the 47.
Well, this is interesting. Here we've seen Shelton going for the bombs here in the second half after that first quarter where he was nickeling and diming them.
Well, I think he likes to air it out. That was, what a catch! I'll tell you, Felton has really shown some good stuff here as a runner and a receiver.
Well, there was tremendous pressure. Watch the pressure now. Watch the pressure. Whoa, almost tipped.
He reached down low on that and made the grab despite the presence of Dylan George.
Great effort by Felton on a badly thrown ball under heavy pressure.
4th and 22. Or correction, 3rd and 22.
Quick kick.
It surely was. And it's going to do a nice job for Sac High to get them out of trouble unexpectedly. It's down at about the 12.
Well, I think that was an excellent decision with that quick kick. Totally unexpected on the part of Folsom. And that's what quick kicks do. Not how far they go, but they surprise the defense. And secondly, there's no return.
So the Bulldogs again are pinned in poor field position, but they have shown that they can readily get out of such situations.
Well, this is still anybody's game, a 13-7 ball game.
Triple wide to the near side. Rupchuck, sweep right, and chopped. Boy, that was some nice containment.
Yeah, it was. It picked up about 5 or 6 yards, though. And
2nd and 4.
They run that inside handoff. 2nd and 4. There you see Coach McCray talking to his defense. 4 for 6 in that drive, huh? Shelton 4 for 6 for 58, but the penalties took them back.
A tighter formation this time. Quick hit, right side, diving grab. And I think they're going to wave it off. But, well, who's to say? Ngata, nice effort. Looked like he caught it, rolled over, and then dropped it. But up here in the press box, let's take another look closer this time.
Here we are. You see Bennett drilling Ngata inside.
Okay, he lost it as he rolled over. Marginal call.
And no consistency.
A bullet grabbed for first down yardage, and a vicious tackle applied.
Now they got to give him the right spot here, and I believe they will enough to move the chain.
Oh, he's got it by a yard or so. Boy, that was a pretty physical tackle by Drayton there.
Yes, it was.
1st and 10. Football parked at the 23-yard line. And this ball game has a very weird rhythm to it.
It sure has. Momentum swings back and forth on it.
They're moving. They're just now moving the chains.
Well, that's, Sacramento administration, and they have to take charge over there. That head linesman's got his hands full.
Run play, nice cut, and Rupchuk.
Well, he looked like he only had a couple, Will, but he did make a great cut for 3 more.
He did. Nice job, the veteran running back and receiver. They give him 4 on the play, make it 2nd and 6.
Nice cut right here.
Yes, it was. He froze him. That was an ankle twister. From the 27. Fake the pass and run it. Bennett in traffic has first down yardage to the 34.
I think he's got enough. If they're spotting the ball, looks like they got enough.
So yardage not coming as easily as usual for Folsom.
Not at all.
They're having to scrap and scrape for it. Nice effort there by Bennett. First down, Bulldogs. From the Folsom 34. Look right and fire out there. A grab, but well covered. It's going to be a gain of a couple as Hutton
we got a late flag.
Extended his arms to make that catch, and we'll see about the penalty. It's against Sacramento.
3-2.
I'm sorry, Raynon. Would you repeat that, please? I only got part of it.
My goodness.
Game management is never easy, and I think that applies to monitoring this game tonight. The walk-off is going to put the football into sack territory at the Dragon 48-yard line. Well, this could be one of those drives. We're midway, third, 13-7 sack, and Folsom on the move. Fake the give and fire to Badger, who's grabbed after about a 2-yard pickup. Nickel and dime.
That. No, not much at all.
Actually, not nickel and dime. It's pennies and nickels.
More like that.
Gain of 2. 2nd and 8. Clock rolling at the 6:35. And they park the football at the Dragon 46. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
8 carries he has, along with his passing. 58 yards. He's your leading rusher. Caden Bennett's leading rusher, as he has been the first 3 games.
Look out, here it comes. Pump fake, deep throw, saw it coming, wide open. Touchdown, Bulldogs on the bomb. It was exactly at the right time. Badger hauls it in.
Pump and go. I love the call. Stop and go on the fade. Excellent.
And suddenly we are tied at 13 on a 46-yard scoring connection. Bennett to Badger, the Killer Bees.
Young sophomore Elijah Badger coming into this contest with 9 catches with 254 yards on the 9 catches. That shows you why.
Sanchez trying for the go-ahead PAT. Spotted, booted. Got it. At 6:05, midway third. A change as we see Bennett go upstairs, and he's got Badger in the open as Folsom takes the lead. Stay with us.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Well, it was the Bennett and Badger show in that last drive. Eventually a 46-yard aerial connection.
And Folsom with its first lead of the night, 14-13.
A pooch kickoff, and it's going to be returned, and Sac will have good field position at the Dragon 32, and that's where they're going to open shop. Now finding themselves down 1 here, mid-third.
Dragons are going to take over first and 10 on the
14-13. It's been a while since Folsom has been behind for more than a half.
Well, they now we're going to find out if they can play behind. Of course, they're ahead now. Momentum has swung here early in the third quarter.
The Dragons are due for a big play of their own. Shelton having a nice ball game. Turn and give, nothing doing, but he breaks the tackle and slips ahead across the 35. Something out of nothing for about a 4 to 5 yard gain.
Well, during that drive, Bennett had a nice series going 4 for 5. Drayton with a nice play there again, young sophomore Drayton. But Caden Bennett coming through with 4 out of 5 for 59 yards in that drive, Will.
Very impressive. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 from the Sac 37. Good field position for the Dragons to operate. They run the football with Bradley, and he gets to the 40 before he's shoved back. It's going to bring up 3rd and a couple.
That's surprising. We haven't seen him carry the ball. Very surprising. Outstanding receiver.
Coming into the game, he'd only had 3 carries for 29.
Right. But certainly he's a big bomb threat. He averaged 23.4 per catch coming in, Will.
He's way overdue for a grab. Key 3rd down. They run it. Good effort, and this is going to be very close, and he's kind of looking like he got it.
I'll tell you what, they had him back, trapped back 3 yards back, but give him credit. Wow, outstanding number 4 effort.
Yes, it was. Drayton.
Young sophomore Drayton. He's coming in his own already, Will.
And, you know, for a smaller player, running between the tackles against this squad is really doing something. 1st and 10, Dragons from the Sac 44. Second man through, a slip. That could have been dangerous. However, it's Felton getting a couple. He crosses the 45 to the 46. 2nd and 8, clock rolling at 4:11, late 3rd.
Well, it appears to me that Coach McCray is going to stay on the ground except for play action, and not worried about how fast he scores, and maybe he'll draw that secondary in and play action and go big, possibly to Bradley or Moore or Tanner.
Shelton rushed hard, but fires over the middle, deflected and intercepted. Cornelius, right place, right time, and we'll credit someone else for the breakup. Correction, Barner with the grab. Yeah, let's take a look. Somebody else got a hand up to set that interception up.
It's a tip by 31.
Oh, yeah, there he is. And active hands, certainly by Gulowicz.
Gulowicz, the linebacker, yes. And right there on the run is Isaiah Barner, and the pendulum is swinging here.
First turnover of the night for Sac. 1st and 10. A dump off. Nice cut. Well, I'll tell you, Badger has earned his keep tonight.
Well, he certainly has, and your opponents out there are going to have to put up with him for 2 more years. Outstanding receiver. Outstanding receiver.
That's enough for a 1st down. They move the stakes, and Bulldogs are ready to go, but whistles are going to stop play, and I think Coach McCray wants the time.
Yeah. Well, anytime that Folsom's on a run and they move the chains, they will no huddle.
Stay with us. We're going to come right back. 14-13 Folsom.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Bennett runs it, and he's tracked down. Boy, what pursuit right there. And again, Kuzi was there along with the big man to shut that down, and that would be DJ Eldridge.
Well, he is one sizable guy. DJ at 6'3", 300.
I'd say that's sizable.
Yes.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. From the 34. A bullet on a slant, grab, free running room. Badger is zigzagged through traffic, and he's finally dumped inside the 5. Nice open field cuts.
Well, see, they're running those quick routes now, except for the one bomb they threw. Watch this. He throws a dart on a slant in. Fake the dive, bam. Throw that quick slant in, and Badger knows what to do with the football.
We're going to come back to that, but right now, goal line situation, turn and give. Rupchuk trying to go left, and it is chopped. 4 Dragons were there, and one of them getting up slowly with an injured ankle or leg. Tough luck there. That play was well contained, and he'll be attended to, so we have a stoppage. And I wouldn't mind seeing that previous play on that slant, because you'll see Felton overcommit from his safety position.
All right, let's look at it. There he's fake inside, slant in. Yes, Felton over pursued. You're absolutely right, Will. And on the play that we just saw, you'll see Javon Duncan come in late, and it looked to me, I can't tell if it's an ankle or a knee. They got him up. Javon Duncan, their starting safety, is coming off the field.
Right ankle or lower leg, and he's being assisted. We certainly hope that's just a sprain that can heal without, serious damage. This has been a hard-fought, intensely played game, and quite an excellent demonstration of high school football. Not the cleanest game. We've had penalties, but a war. This has been a war.
Without a question. Some hard hitting out there, and they woke up Folsom at halftime, and they looked like a different ball club this second half.
2nd and 3 at the 3. Rupchuk tries to cut it back, and there are too many Dragon defenders there.
Well, I think it's time for him to run that boot fake to Rupchuk and keep the ball. And he'll run that boot pass or take it himself to the end zone.
Another look at that.
There's a give to Rupchuk, and nobody is respecting him keeping the ball off that handoff. Let's see what happens.
Larry lowered the boom on that tackle. He wants to throw a hard rush. Dropped in his haste to step away from traffic.
Again, it's easy here, Will. I don't know if I like that call.
Badger with the drop.
I mean, he had 3 people covering him.
4th and 3 from
Here
the 3.
comes the field goal team. Here comes the field goal team. I think they got a bit too conservative down there on the 5-yard line.
Well, they've had excellent results from Oscar Sanchez. But this will be a short-range chippy from the near hash out of the hold of McClure. Spotted at the 11, call it a 21-yarder.
That's a PAT kick, Will.
He blasted it, and it's wide left. Wide left on the PAT field goal try. And to no avail, no insurance, as the drive comes up empty.
Huge. Now that's got to give a new life to Sac High Dragons, because they could have been down by possibly 8 points after that. Wow. Huge miss.
Coming into the game, he was 1 for 1 on his attempts, and it was a 29-yarder, just about the way that one was set up, but nothing doing. 1st and 10 for the Dragons at the Sac 20. 1:40 left in the third. Bulldogs up 1. Shelton to fire right side. He's got Bradley. Acrobatics, and he's shoved out of bounds near the 30. Close to a first down, but perhaps a bit short. We'll wait and see, but he is a splendid athlete.
Watch Bradley go up and try to hurdle here. Here he is.
Nice sideline
Watch
shot.
him go up top, over the top. Whoa, he caught a helmet.
Almost. Here we go. Shelton to throw. Overthrown. A deep post. And again, that time he was going for Tanner and overthrown again. Tanner gets the overthrows.
He sure does. He is open.
Four
He's
times.
open, yes.
Third and 3.
I don't know what his total, what Shelton's total yards are or pass his completion percentage is right now.
This is a huge 3rd and short. They need about 3. He wants to throw for it. Intercepted, and this could be the pick 6. Touchdown Bulldogs. He read it like a book. Dylan George.
Dylan George read it like a book, all right.
That just changed the entire complexion.
Well, it certainly did. Isn't that the second pick of the night? Each quarterback has 2 picks.
That one more costly than all the others. So back on. Oscar Sanchez trying to tack on a PAT and create an 8-point lead. McClure holding, and that one was buried. At 1:16, late third, things have turned around, and as we go to break, you're going to see the biggest mistake of the night so far.
He was triple covered.
We'll be right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Well, Shelton's had 2.
Hey Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. We're going biking. Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Well, Derek Shelton bit by the interception bug for the second time, and it results in a Bulldog TD. There's a chip kickoff, bobbled out of bounds, fortunately for the Dragons, but they're going to have some mediocre field position out of that. Shelton came into the game with having thrown 3 interceptions, 2 more tonight, all of them in the third quarter. And he's missed a couple guys, including Tanner,
when he was open
on a handful of overthrows.
Yeah. Well, I thought he looked pretty good early when he was nickel and diming Folsom and taking what they gave him, and he got the ball out in 2 seconds or under.
From the 21 on first down, they run the football. Nice power up the gut, stringing out tacklers. And, you know, Kuzi is having a nice ball game, very impressive ball player.
Yes, he is. Outstanding player. Great outside backward DN. Gifted athlete, can play anywhere.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Sack trying to put something together over the middle deep. What an acrobatic grab by Bradley between two defenders as he makes the Bulldog 45. Oh my goodness.
Well, I'll tell you, he protects the football. Watch the way he uses his body, very much like a rebounder in basketball. He turns those shoulders, and I'll tell you, that defender can't get through to the ball.
From the Folsom 47, Bradley making an impact. Quick hitch, Bradley, right side, running room. Powers up, blasts over a tackler, and takes on 2 more as he gets inside the Bulldog 30. And his team rallies around him, and a flag flies. Boy, oh boy, there's 2 Folsom players in the middle of that Sac High mob. Evidently a late hit sparking some temper. And coming out of the fray without a helmet, Barner. And there you see big-time Bradley. Well, he's played a whale of the ball game.
Well, I'll tell you, he's a big-time prospect. Very impressive.
Renan Maddox.
Dead ball, personal foul, late hit on the defense. Half this is the goal. It'll be first down.
Well, well. Let's take another look as they mark off the penalty.
Okay, let's take a look at this. Watch Bradley here. Bull over the one side, get hit. And Moore coming to the rescue.
Okay, the Sacramento gets the penalty walk-off, and they've got the football at the 13-yard line. The quick opener isn't quite quick enough. They get 3, though. And Kuzi has been terrific tonight. He and Bradley have been standouts. 5 catches for 92 and a TD for Bradley. And he's got the 2 picks on defense. So they give him 2 on the play. 2nd and 8 when we come back from the quarter break. Well, let's send it down to Rick Stewart. He's got more for us. Okay, Mr. Stewart.
All righty, we got a great score here, 21-13 at halftime. I'm here with Jessica Owens, the cheer coach here at Sac High. Tell me how important it is for other athletes other than the ones on the field.
It's extremely important. We're all students out here. We have 3.0 students. This game, for all the athletes are out here, it's important because we won last year. We're trying to bring home another victory this year. This is Coach Drea here with me, and we just want to bring a win home tonight.
How many people in the program, the cheer program, so to speak?
We have 11 cheerleaders so far, and we have a second tryout during basketball season, so we hope to bring a lot more.
How long have most of them been doing this sort of thing?
I've got full-time seniors. My seniors this year have gone all 4 years.
All righty, well, thanks for spending a minute with us. All of a sudden, the team came over, make noise. That's great, that's spirit. All right, guys, we'll send it back up to you.
Okay, thank you, Stu. Lots of positivity and proactive contributions. Like to see that a lot. Meantime, back to action from the 11. 2nd and 8. Shelton to throw to the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons. And it was only a matter of time. Finally one on the money for Tanner.
Well, Tanner got one. He's been open before.
And that tightened things up. 11 yards. Shelton to Tanner. Let's see what they want to do on the PAT. (21-19), early 4th. Well, this game has had the seesaw, lead change, shift in momentum factors.
Many times tonight, particularly this second half.
Oh, yeah. They're going to go for 2 and try for the tie. to the end zone. Incomplete. A high throw and off target. So they settle for the 6 as Sac draws close. Long way to go. Stay with us.
My journey skating for the gold taught me a lot, but my journey with breast cancer has been one of my greatest teachers.
Every woman's breast cancer is unique. Be Wiser educates and empowers women to take control of their breast cancer treatment plan and help navigate their own path beyond 5 years.
Talk to your doctor about information and tests to personalize a treatment plan that fits your needs. I did. Be informed, be wiser, support survivors like us.
Sac High set to kick off. Esau Perez to do the booting as a clutch TD by the Dragons have tightened things up. Line drive, bobbled inside the 10-yard line and coming back out, Ngata, and he's finally surrounded and dropped outside the 20. This is a heavily spirited, hard-fought, intense game with penalties flying.
Yeah.
Lots of emotion out here tonight.
We got a flag over there, and I don't know who it's going against. Could be a late hit out of bounds.
Well, head coach Joe McCrae's done a whale of a job with this Dragons ball club. And, of course, Chris Richardson has his club ranked number 1 coming into this game. And what a battle it has been. Certainly not the most explosive game or the cleanest game, but a bitterly fought contest.
Very.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the return team. 15 yards, so it'll be half the distance to the goal. First down, Folsom.
Tempers flaring, lots of short fuses out there, lots on the line, all stemming from a year ago when Sac went up the hill and shattered Folsom's 52-game winning streak against section competition.
Right. That team just got a lecture from head coach Richardson and said, let's just play ball. Stop that other stuff.
Okay, so they shove them back. They're spotted at the 12-yard line after the penalty. Personal foul, unsportsmanlike. Bennett, after a very shaky first quarter, eventually gradually straightened things out and got them back on top, but it's airtight right now, just a 2-point lead.
Look at the cushion here on the 2 wideouts, Will.
Run play, left side, and Ngata sprints for about 14 or 15 yards before anybody could get to him. Boy, does he look energized. Oh, my word.
Young sophomore, Will. He's the last of the Nagatas. He's making a name for himself already.
So the carry goes to the 27. We're going to give him 15 on the play. 1st and 10. Lots of room out here to the near side. Not this time. They tried to go up the gut again. And there you see him, Kuzi, all over that for the stop. Boy, he has been terrific.
Yeah, without a question, he's been all over the field tonight.
These are the kind of games that make it very difficult to select a player of the game.
Well, I'd say we have many in the running, Will.
A bullet, complete.
If they don't blow the whistle, we're going to get somebody hurt.
Ngata with the catch and the tough tackle behind it. And you're right, Coach. Let's take another look.
There's a fake inside and a quick hitch in to Ngata.
With Drayton draped all over him. 3rd and 3. Left side run. Bennett turns the corner and sprints for the flag. It looks like he's got a first down.
Bulldogs first down.
1st and 10. Joe McRae in his first year as head coach of the Dragons, and he's put together a formidable ball club. I don't know who else has hung around this close to Folsom in the last several years. 21-19 Bulldogs, still a ways to go, 10.5. Draw play, quarterback draw, stuffed. Wrapped up and stuffed.
Well, that wasn't a design draw. He flushed the pocket. If you watch the receivers, he took a look, nothing open, he decided to keep the ball. Simon Taylor with the tackle in there, forcing him into 2nd and long.
Call it 2nd and 9. Bennett wants to throw, hit and dropped, and a flag flies.
Well, there's a fumble also.
Dragons think they have it, but we'll wait and see about the penalty. But that pass pressure was intense. Wait and see if they unpile him and what is the result of that. And the Dragons have the pill.
The turnover battle.
Both quarterbacks have hummed 2 interceptions. Coming up with it, the hybrid linebacker and Noki Wagavesi.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He certainly can make a lot of ball clubs as a first stringer, and maybe he will work his way up and line up here.
That'll be declined. The result of the play is a fumble, recovered by Sac. 1st down.
So Folsom committed another penalty, which was declined. They have rung up more penalties probably in this game than, well, I don't know. I have to check on that, but here come the Dragons showing double wide receivers to the near side with lots of room, and I wouldn't be surprised if Shelton wants to air it out. Double wide to each side. He wants to throw. Deep slant. Wow! How did he fit that one in?
He just gunned it in there, and I'll tell you what I like about their receivers. Outstanding number 10, Dante Moore. Well, let's look at this. Sheldon drills the ball in there. Watch him protect the ball.
He was well covered, and that was a laser shot. 1st down, Dragons at the 20. Here we go. Run play, blasted back. Tough Bulldog D right there.
Yep.
Let's tip our cap to Tyler Hardiman.
Tyler Hardiman with a great stop. He's kind of going off, holding his head there as you see him taken back for a yard loss.
2nd and 11 from the 21. Quick hitch to Bradley, underthrown and dropped.
Wow, they got to be careful that wasn't a live lateral.
That was not Shelton's best effort.
All right, let's take a look at this. All right, watch Bennett here. Decides to keep the ball, gets hit. There it is, stripped right now.
And I'm not so sure that that wasn't his own teammate that may have inadvertently poked that out. However, we've got a triple receiver formation stacked out here on 3rd and 11. They run it and nothing. Look at Felton trying to jitterbug for a couple.
I'm a little surprised on the run call with 3rd and 11.
Me too. I guess they were looking for a surprise, but there was not a surprise in every package. 4th and 10 as they get one, and Felton coming off slowly. He's taking some shots tonight.
Well, he has, and Kuzi has given him a break, a bit of a break here in the 4th quarter. You see Felton coming off, has taken some big hits, Will.
We've even seen Drayton have a couple of carries. So they're going to try a field goal.
Or fake. They faked before out of this formation.
But he's in range, I think, from the 27, call it a 37. He's going to go for it. Blocked on a low line drive. Loose ball scooped. And the Folsom defense comes up big.
Turnovers. Block kick. Well, we went from a Bennett fumble to a block kick. So now Folsom's going to get the ball in great field position.
Sorry to see a fallen Bulldog there. And we never like to see that. And that's Justin Viega, starting defensive end. And we won't even speculate on that, but there has been plenty of topsy-turvy in this game tonight. But it has been a show.
Well, they battle. Viega's okay. There you go. I'm glad to see that.
Well, next week we'll be back in action as always, and we're going to be over in Rancho Cordova, where the Lancers will play host to the visiting Foothill Mustangs on Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week, Friday at 7. Put it on Comcast 17 or another affiliate. Here we go. Bulldogs 1st and 10 outside their 35. Bennett, pump fake. Plenty of running room, but throws to no one in particular. That was difficult to believe. I don't understand it and won't pretend I do.
I don't either, Will. The run was open, the pass was open, and then he threw the ball somewhere between no one.
I've seen enough to know that I've seen too much.
Wow.
8-13, still on the early side of quarter number 4, and our referee Maddox has something to say here.
Wow. Now there looked like an ineligible receiver versus Folsom.
Well, we didn't get the camera shot on the refs, so I can't tell you about the penalty, but the fact is.
Ineligible receiver.
Yep. And that's what happens. That ineligible player thought for sure that Bennett was going to run the football. 2nd and 10 from the 37. I don't think so. What an escape artist. He gets a couple out of that mess, and what a tremendous, valiant effort.
Oh, that's young Danny Nagata.
Yes, it is. Now, he slipped at least 3, and he's either cramped up or had a twist, fighting hard to try to get out of that mess. 3rd and 10, correction. We've got a 2nd and 9. You got me, 3rd and 9. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I think it goes in that order.
Well, I don't think Folsom wants to punt the football here, Will. They want to use 2 downs and move the chains.
Certainly.
1 if necessary.
3rd and 9. A bullet out to the left sideline for a diving grab, Joe Nagata. So they move the stakes and get to nearly to midfield. So they work a 1st down, hurry up offense, no huddle from the 48. 7:23 to go as we near mid-4th. It's a 2-point squeaker right now, 21-19 Folsom. Bennett, a bullet. Got a grab, got Joe Nagata. 1st down, Bulldogs. Bread and butter.
They got one-on-one matchup over there, Will. They're playing him. They put a trips or bunch to the wide side and single receiver on the short side. Okay, so they're going to the single receiver who's got one-on-one coverage. It's a mismatch. There it is on the far side right there. The corner is now about 8 yards off the ball.
Gain of 11 on that last one. Drayton the corner, a keeper by Bennett. He bounces outside and gets outside. Another 1st down on 3 consecutive calls.
Well, credit Joe Nagata with a great block on Drayton, holding his block.
And if not for Bradley closing that off, might have seen something different there. Here we go, another look, and you'll see Bradley prevent further damage. Bennett keeps, goes left, and dances out of bounds at about the 22 or 3.
Well, right now,
another fallen Bulldog, slow in getting up.
Well, it appears like the Dragon front is getting a little tired chasing Bennett. They looked tired on that play, Will. They really did.
Good spot for a sack timeout and circle the wagons here. 6:46. They're down 2 and can ill afford giving up a touchdown.
There they are. bunch set to the wide, single coverage on the top side.
2nd and 4, Bennett runs it. Close, but maybe a yard short.
Well, right now, this is good clock management on the part of Folsom. They're going to 5 and 10 you on the passing game, which requires very little time on the part of Bennett, and then run the football.
Well, they just pulled Rupchuk and brought in Gulewicz into the Folsom backfield. He's a lead blocker. Bennett powers up. 1st down as they push the stack all the way inside the Sac 15.
Well, I just mentioned, you see that? They couldn't do that to the Sac defense early in this football game, Will. Taylor got the tackle, but that front line of Folsom is moving the defense off the football.
And they are tired. Fatigue is certainly showing.
Yeah.
1st down from the 15. Whistles are going to prevent any further
coach
play.
is going to call a timeout. He's seen enough.
They needed one a couple plays ago.
You mentioned that, Will, and I agree with you because you could see fatigue setting in the last 4, 5, 6 plays. Very evident.
Let's keep it right here for now. What we've got is a reset. 5:52 left. Dragons down 2 after leading for the better part of this ball game. And here's that juncture where Chris Richardson and company looking for insurance. This crowd has really been tantalized and treated to some intense football. Not the cleanest game, plenty of penalties, but so hard fought. Bulldogs back onto the field. Here we go.
Yeah.
1st and 10 from the 15. To the corner, out of bounds.
That's good defense over there on the part of Felton. Excellent job.
Going to bring up the 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs.
There you see Sac coming in here again now. Trying to stop him. Fatigue setting in. First and 10, Will.
The big play, Bennett for the end zone. Intercepted at the goal line. Oh my goodness. What a play.
Number 3, Duncan with a great interception. Javon Duncan, the holder, with a great pick. And it looked like either cramping or something going on with him. Not a time to throw a pick. Wow. Wow. He's got to put the nose up. His receiver has got he's really got him beat, but he's got to put that nose up. Number 3, Hutton, was open, but he threw the line drive and couldn't throw it through.
Okay, Sac with the rock at their own 4. 5:39 to go. Just outside his end zone, they run right. Good running room and make the 10. Gain of about 6 as they wedge out for some field position.
7-yard gain.
And Felton really getting a workout for the Dragons. Second and 3. The deep throw near side, broken up.
Wow.
Nice reaction.
Bradley was open. Great save by Clayton. Clayton with a great save in that secondary. Parker Clayton taking a deep drop to linebacker. We had a big third down play here, 3rd and 2.
From the 11 with 5:01 left. Shelton rushed hard. He's got a drop. Wow. You know, Tanner had some running room after he made the catch. That middle of the field was open.
It looked to me like he was trying to run early. Will, he had to get the football and get the first down. That was the most important thing. Get the first down, not how far. Let's look at that again. The ball is right there. He's, right there to Tanner. Right there. Couldn't be a better throw. You're lucky it wasn't picked now after that deflection.
Boy, the tension here continuing to escalate, and Shelton a little disappointed, I would say. Fourth and 3 from the 11. It looks like a punt from just outside the goal line upcoming, but whistles are going to halt play here, and we'll see why.
Delay a game. Delay a game. They're going to be penalized half the distance.
Back about 5 yards.
Now all the way back into the end zone. No mistakes here. Let's see if the Bulldogs try to put some heavy pressure. A line drive punt right between the returners. It does take a Bulldog backward bounce, but no return as it's downed. Bradley's done a nice job out of punt formation tonight.
They certainly have. There's been little to no. We had one 67-yarder. We had another kick out of bounds, and so Folsom has not had an opportunity to return these punts. Good job by their kicking game. Excellent by the punt team.
So here's where we are with 4:45 to go. Great field position for Folsom with the football at the Bulldog 46. It's up to the Sac defense now. If they want to hang in this game, they need to stop.
Well, I think you'll see, you got to see them use the clock, and I'm looking at the timeouts remaining for Sac. I thought they used.
Left side running by Bennett, and he ran out of room there, chased out, not much there.
No, he's got to stay in bounds.
Got to stay in bounds, keep the clock rolling. But it is stopped at 4:40 after no gain.
You could see his body language, Will. He's telling you he has not played that good, his best game tonight. And we know that. We've seen him.
Well, yes, especially after seeing that performance against Jesuit, which was nothing less than masterful. But credit Sac High. No excuses, and the Dragons have been on him like a rash. Right side running as the hole opens up.
That's a huge first down
Nagata.
by young Danny Nagata, the young sophomore, making a name for himself, not living in the shadow of his older brothers. Danny Nagata, he gets excited.
11 yards on the carry, first down as they make the Sac High 43 as the clock rolls at the 4:20 mark. Time getting tight now.
The clock management is huge right here, Will.
Turn and give. Rupchuk bounces off a tackler and gets ahead to the 36 or 37. He's shy of a first, but the clock is now under 4 minutes remaining after a 7-yard pickup. More like a 6-yard pickup. A glance to the bench, to the Folsom Brain Trust. signaling in a play for Caden Bennett. And he too looks exhausted. Hands on hips.
5 seconds.
He's letting it all tick off. Flag down as Rupchuk has the handoff. And he's dropped a bit shy of the first down marker, but we'll see about the penalty.
First down, got a penalty on the play.
Raynon Maddox.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
This is, I think I've seen Folsom make more mistakes and turnovers tonight than they have in quite a while. Again, this is a top-flight Sacramento team they're facing, and you know, that can happen when two evenly matched teams are going at it with this high intensity. You may not play your normal game. You can't when your opposition is this good, Will.
And this is one of those games where if we go to the cliche file, there's not going to be a loser tonight, even though one team will come out on top on the scoreboard. These two are two dynamite teams that have been neutralized by each other's defenses. On the ground, they keep it to chew the clock. So the 2nd and 8 is going to now become a 3rd and 6.
Well, they've chewed up about 2.5 minutes on this drive, and with only 2:36 on the clock, Sac has got to be thinking about using some of their timeouts and not wait till they're down to 1 minute.
I agree with that. Badger in to the Bulldog lineup.
They got to get a play off. Here comes a 5-second count.
Lots of movement. Lots of movement. This is absolutely a battle of attrition. Timeout Folsom coming at the 2:11. And Coach Richardson is going to straighten things out, as is Joe McCray, white-clad Sac High head coach.
Well, he got a favor. I believe Richardson got the timeout, not McCray.
It was Richardson.
Yeah, and he knew they were going to get penalized. He didn't want another 5-yarder and move the clock, move the ball back, because he's in a situation with 2nd and 7? 3rd and 7?
About 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6, but Chris Richardson knows that his young ball club has really not been in this situation yet this season. They've had 3 routes, averaging 52 a game, and we're looking up here at a 21-19, holding on for dear life.
Oh, yeah.
So this is some seasoning and experience, and Richardson's trying to guide them through to the finish line.
This is a young. On this offense, he's got 2 starting. He's got 2 softs, 5 juniors, and 4 seniors. He's got 7 kids playing here who are young kids, and he's doing a good job managing them.
What's the call on 3rd and 6, Coach?
Well, I still say they keep it on the ground, but they're going to throw.
They sure are, and they've got the first down. Underneath the coverage, a low bullet, tough to defend, and that belongs to Parker Clayton.
Well, they continue to throw to the near sideline to the single receiver. Okay? We've seen them do this 6 out of 8 of the last passes. And I like the call.
I do as well. And
if that's a single side receiver on the short side is playing off, now they're pressing over there.
Football at the 32-yard line with 2:05 to go. That won't work. Loss of 3. Loss of 2.
Off the right side. Loss of 2 on the play.
Well, once again, if the clock is right, if Sac has 3 timeouts, he's got to be thinking about using one. Or this game could be over and he could have timeouts remaining.
We're at a 1:40, clock rolling. And
if that clock is right,
Bennett looks like he would be thrilled if this game was over and time runs out. 1.5 minutes to go. Turn and give, good room off the right side. Where's the containment? That's a late hit there. Yep. No doubt. And I can understand why Joe McCray isn't wild about that. It was Drayton with the hit. It was very close, but I do believe he was out. And here's the call from referee.
Personal foul, late hit on the defense. Half distance to the goal.
Let's take a look.
So here comes up Rupchuk. It was late and it was high.
Yeah, good call.
Absolutely the correct call.
Great camera work. That was a great view.
And that was the kind of a play that was going to get strung out with not much gain, but the penalty really, really hurt Sac here. Clock frozen with 1:15 to go. 1st and 10 from the Dragon 14-yard line. He's going to run it himself outside. There's room, but wow, what a nice cover-up tackle right there. Again, it is the speed back making great plays on defense, Javon Felton.
Well, you can see the way he's limping around. Watch this now. Bennett keeping it himself. Here comes Felton with a shoestring tackle. And Felton, you can see the way he's walking around.
Well, he's been banged up. Everybody's been banged up tonight. These guys hit for keeps. And this has been a heck of a rugged high school football game. Less than a minute to go, 58 seconds showing. Timeout on the field. It says here that Folsom's got 3 left, and so does Sac High, so evidently that's not being attended to. But next week, we'll be in Rancho Cordova, and we're going to be at Lancer Stadium, where host Cordova will entertain the visiting Foothill Mustangs. Cordova of the Sierra Valley Conference, putting together a very talented ball club under Coach Neal.
Yes, he's turned that program around and doing a great job in every way, shape, or form with that Cordova program on and off the field.
Take a bow, Darren Neal. So here we are, 2nd and 6, outside the 10. Bennett working left, cuts it to the open daylight, gets around the corner to the flag. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And that is the finishing touch.
That's a tired Dragon ball club on the field, that defensive unit.
No doubt, no doubt. Bennett tired himself, but had enough to put 2 moves on and got a great block initially to screen him. So it's a 10-yard touchdown run, making it 27-19, and it comes at the 49-second mark to essentially put the capper on this one. So we worked ourselves into the final minute before some kind of a conclusive play, and here's on for the PAT. The left foot chippy from Oscar Sanchez is good. And here's how the Bulldogs put the extra touch on what looks to be a sure victory. We'll be right back for more of Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Well, flashy junior quarterback Caden Bennett subdued for most of the evening by a staunch Sac High defense is basically going to call it a night with 11 carries and 73 yards on the ground and a rushing touchdown just now. as the Sanchez kickoff is short to the near side. Oh my goodness. Grabbed on the dead run by Nagata, and it's going to be disallowed. It's a recovery.
Ball is recovered by Nagata.
No, they're going to put the ball down because it bounced.
Not sure quite how the fans are going to regard this game, but it was most entertaining in a rather unusual fashion. But these two elite teams, number 1 versus number 6, they showed exactly why. What a hard-fought game this was.
Very hard for it, yeah. And really, not until the last, fourth quarter here when things were decided. This was anybody's ball game for 3 quarters, really.
Surely
and
was.
Just 6-7 minutes ago, we had a 21-19 ball game in our hands.
Yeah, even less than that. It was super tight. I mean, he ran for that touchdown just a few seconds ago, right?
Right.
Well, game management continuing to be doled out by our officiating crew, and that is a kneel down that should finish things up as the final seconds will tick off here at Hughes Stadium in a highly heralded battle that had been eagerly awaited for a year. And the fans here tonight were treated to a brawl. You see the sportsmanship on the field, the two teams embracing after really having it out on the field. A hard-fought, brutal game tonight. We saw numerous injuries and disabling plays where the recovery was made a short time later, but physical?
Very physical. Yes, definitely. And we saw the price that these guys played. Both teams hit hard, went at it. This was a full war, and this was a game we expected to be. And turnovers did play, among other things, a huge role here tonight. Huge role.
And the types of turnovers that especially Bennett had not been subjected to.
No, but he's never been under duress in this kind of a rush in his previous 3 games, Will.
True enough.
Yeah.
And playing in this big house is a different experience altogether. As you see our wide shot here at Hughes Stadium, beautifully redone a couple of years ago, and both schools getting an ovation for their team, and even more so here from Sacramento as a large share of the meager Folsom crowd has already departed.
Well, it's very surprising. We certainly expected a bigger turnout. If you follow Folsom in the past, whether we're at Sac State or wherever it was, there was always a huge turnout, no matter where. But a little surprising tonight.
But we've got more to come. We're inviting you to stick around for the post-game segment, and in that segment, our Rick Stewart will be visiting with the players of the game and the winning coach when we come back. Lots more to come on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Your teenager, naturally pushing the rules to their limits. When they push too far, call the Boys Town National Hotline at 800-448-3000. Our trained counselors are there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide advice and resources for problems big or small.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
The verdict is in, and the decision is final this evening at Hughes Stadium, where tonight, in front of an excited crowd, a rematch of epic proportion was staged, and the fans here at Hughes Stadium treated to an old-fashioned brawl as top-ranked Folsom came off the deck, came from behind, and was able to stop a fiery 6th-rated Sacramento High School Dragons to turn away with a 28-19 victory in a hard-fought football game that is going to leave several messages around the area, Coach.
Very definitely. I think Sac more than proved their value and worthy of that number 6 rating. And quite frankly, I know we have a long season ahead of us, but it would not surprise me one bit if this Sac Dragon Ball Club goes 9-1. And you'll see them in the playoffs. I really do. Very impressive. They got a little tired in the second half, but it was truly a brawl, a hard-hitting contest. And when you score the thing in 2 halves, it was Sac 13, 7.5. But in the second half, if you scored second half alone, Folsom scores 21. Sac scored 6 plus 6 more. So Folsom won the second half battle decidedly. Although, with 5 minutes and change left, it was anybody's ball game. What do you think, Will?
Absolutely. And when Folsom stretched out to their better-than-touchdown lead, that was a very clutch, responsive touchdown that Sac got to pull them within 2. That showed me some heavy character as they went to 21-19 at that point.
Yeah, the game was definitely played in 2 halves, and you saw the momentum switch. And that switch is was very evident, and particularly in the early part, in the middle part of the fourth quarter, when fatigue began to set in on that Sac front.
Evidently, the Folsom Brain Trust got their team into a space where they could control the clock and keep that tired Sac defense out there, and that was a key factor down the stretch, no question about it. But I agree with you. This was a game of testimony for both teams, and it validated their rankings and their superior teams. I wouldn't want to play either of them.
No, I agree with you, and I don't think too many teams in the area would want to do that. We talk about big game experience, and once again, they did not panic. They did not play well, particularly in the first quarter. They didn't really come to play. And then the second quarter, they picked it up a little bit. The Folsom Bulldogs were a different ball club in the second half. So they showed the big game experience when they had to.
And timing was everything. I was very impressed with how these teams played such tough football. There were some mistakes made and correctable mistakes, but I just think it's very rewarding that these teams played up to the level that they were advertised at. And they're going to leave their mark throughout the rest of the season for sure. Well, as usual, we have selected our players of the game, one from each team, and boy, did we have some outstanding players to select from. It was tough to come up with these two, but we did, and I think we've got two doozies for the Bulldogs. Folsom High School, the young Elijah Badger was a nuisance all night long, and his stats were dynamite, as were the stats of Anthony Bradley. On defense, he was a standout with 2 interceptions. He had 5 receptions, nearly 100 yards receiving. And Rick Stewart is standing by with these players of the game. Rick?
Quality players here from tonight's game. First, let's talk with Anthony Bradley from Sacramento. Anthony, tough game out there. The end result, hard-fought game all the way through.
Yeah, it was a tough game. We made a couple mistakes that we should have executed on, and that's basically just it.
When you went up 10-0 early in the game, did that feel like you were just going to roll all the way through, or did you just know that they were coming back?
Nah, it was going to be a fight the whole game. We just tried to stay up, but unfortunately we couldn't do that.
All right, well, you got some time left. You're a senior this year, rolling through the senior year. Good job tonight, trying to stay healthy the rest of the year, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, we'll turn here to Folsom. Elijah Badger, tremendous game tonight. Tremendous game. You guys did a wonderful job on defense. Not to overshadow the offense, but the defense really held in there for you.
Yeah, they did. They did good. They did good.
What was the key when you were down 10-0 early? What was the key there? What coach tell you guys at half?
Our separate players just told us to keep our head up and keep it going, keep our offense going, keep our defense going.
Okay. What was the leadership of the players? I mean, was that just like here's what we got to do?
It was our whole team doing it. Like we weren't really scared. We weren't really like.
What's the whole program being through this so many times? Everybody's used to it. I mean, you're a sophomore, but you're still used to watching it.
Yeah. It was a good game, tough game. They play hard.
All right, well, good luck the rest of the year. Thanks, Elijah. All right, Coach, we talked to you at halftime. You weren't really happy with the way the team played. I mean, what did you do different in the second?
Well, thank God we're going to hang our hat on our defense sometimes, right? I mean, everyone talks about Folsom football and everything's offense, offense, offense. We're playing great defense, and we needed it tonight. We knew coming into the game that Sac High had one of the most athletic defenses that I'd seen on tape. Obviously, it's early in the season, but and again, they gave us fits all last year, right? They won the game because of their athleticism on defense. They got great players. And, they were kicking our butt tonight up front and made it rough and made some poor decisions at times at quarterback and weren't great with the ball. But, when our defense is getting stops and gave us a little momentum and we were able to execute in spurts, we still wasn't a clean game. But, when you can walk away from a game like that with a win against a high-quality team like Sac High, I mean, I'm going to be happy once it's all said and done.
Now, they've got a ton of speed on defense, the front line, but also linebackers. Did you do anything or have to do anything special for that?
Again, a lot of our stuff is the perimeter run game, and we couldn't get out there. I mean, they were just too fast up front and too athletic at linebacker. And then, so you figure, okay, we'll go downhill at them and try and knock them off the ball, but then their linebackers and interior guys were teeing off on us. So, thank God we can throw the ball a little. We made some plays in the screen game at times. And again, our defense kept giving us opportunities, and we always feel that as long as we're getting the ball in our offense's hand, there's going to be at some point we're going to do something good with it. It wasn't much tonight, but it was enough to get the win.
Gutsy call down here on this end of going for fourth down.
Well, again, it was there. I mean, it hit him in the hands, should have been caught, should have been a first down, and that's who we are. And I know people are going to say I'm an idiot and all that good stuff, but at the end of the day, we win a lot of games because we go to 4 on fourth down, and it ain't going to change what I do. People can say what they want. It's high school football. We know the risks, and I trust our defense that if we don't execute, we'll get the stop we need. And again, I think if I remember right, we held them to a field goal. So, it was worth the risk to me.
Definitely. When you're on offense, and early in the game, they were dropping 8 guys back from the line. Did you do anything different?
Well, they were dropping guys, but then they were still able to get pass rush. So when they're 2 DNs, Kuzi and number 2 and number 50 were giving my tackles everything they can handle. And, when we did protect, I thought we did some good things, but, obviously I don't think it was a great performance by my O-line, wasn't a great performance by my quarterback, but, at the end of the day, statistics to me, the only statistic that matters is we got the win. And, Caden's done great things and the O-line's done great things. And, again, at times we did the right thing, like the last touchdown run. We actually executed a play, so – we'll watch tape, we'll improve, and, hats off to Sac High, gave us everything we can handle, but like I said, walking away off the field with a win, it's a good feeling.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck the rest of the year. All right, we'll send it back upstairs to Will and Jim.
Okay, Mr. Stewart, thanks very much. Coach Richardson, typically gracious and typically proactive, and his team, of course, did emerge with victory, but he knew exactly how tough it was against these Sac High Dragons.
Well, once again, he's a good coach. He's a true professional, and he said, hey, you know what? We had our hands full, but the bottom line is they came away with a victory, and we can talk about the pluses and the minuses, but the scoreboard is what really counts.
It does, and they walk out with a big W, and the Dragons can hold their heads high. There will be another day for them, and they lost the battle tonight, but showed great, and I'm very impressed with their outfit. Well, Access Sacramento and the Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew wish to extend their appreciation to the Sacramento High School administration, particularly Athletic Director Marco Lopez and Vice Principal Jim Scheidt, for their cooperation and assistance with the broadcast arrangements for this television production. The Hometown Sports Game of the Week is a special sports presentation of Access Sacramento in association with Play-by-Play Sports Productions. For Jim Domino, Rick Stewart, statistician David Stewart, game director Ronicia Harris, and the entire Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew, I'm Will James. We thank you for joining us and look forward to the next occasion when we can get together. So long, everyone.
From Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week is available for purchase on DVD. For more information, call Access Sacramento 916-456-8600, extension 0. This has been a Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast from Access Sacramento. This program is funded in part by a grant from the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission.